That's right. Enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with zero interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, September 4th. Our top story. An overnight fire leaves 7 without a place to stay in Milwaukee.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Eric Bilstad. Charges in a Chicago public transit shooting spree.
I'm Debbie Loziga. It's looking great out on the roads right now. Not seeing too many issues. A little bit of a tap on the brakes eastbound on 94 as you're crossing past Highway 83. But overall, everything else seems to be rolling along fine. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies on the way for today and a high of 78 degrees. Staying clear overnight. Low down to 61 by the lake. 54 degrees your low temp inland. Right now at 54 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 7 people put out of their homes after a neighboring vacant home burned down overnight in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. Fire started about 11:30 Monday near Bremen and Center, destroyed the vacant home, and caused exterior damage to 2 neighboring properties. Milwaukee fire officials say a firefighter was hurt. Injuries not life-threatening while putting out the blaze. The cause of that fire still under investigation.
A 4-year-old is dead after an ATV accident in northern Wisconsin. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it was called to the scene around 6 p.m. Saturday in the town of Pelican that's southeast of Rhinelander in northern Wisconsin. The ATV had 3 passengers, all under the age of 10. They rolled off the road and a 4-year-old became trapped under the vehicle. The child dying at the scene. The investigation ongoing today.
School year now underway. Milwaukee Public Schools still with no plan in place to have school resource officers back in buildings anytime soon, despite a state-imposed deadline.
A minimum of 25 school resource officers were supposed to be in place in January of 24.
When the bill was passed, the school board president said, look, I don't agree with this, but we're going to comply.
State Senator John Jagler.
I've been in contact with the Milwaukee Police Association. They're ready to go.
MPS ended its contract with the Milwaukee Police Department for school resource officers in 2016.
You know, when you talk to parents over and over again about why they enter the school choice program, the number one reason is safety.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
MPS says it's still working to collect data from other cities on how to best define the role of a school resource officer.
Meanwhile, MPS has a new leader to oversee the district's murky financial affairs.
Aicha Sawa is the new chief financial officer for MPS. She officially started after first day of school celebrations yesterday. Sawa is already well familiar with Milwaukee. She was the city's first woman to be elected comptroller in 2020 and holds certifications as a public accountant and internal auditor. She's also the parent of an MPS first grader. MPS's previous CFO Martha Kreitzman resigned in June amid revelations that the district failed to submit key financial reports that directly impacted receiving state funding. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Chicago man now charged after 4 people were shot and killed on a transit train early Monday. Here's ABC's Eric Horn.
30-year-old Ronnie Davis of Chicago is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder in the grisly, seemingly random shooting deaths that have left investigators without a motive. Police say Davis used a Glock 43 9mm handgun to shoot and kill 3 men and 1 woman who were asleep on 2 train cars. The victims discovered just before dawn after their CTA Blue Line train stopped at the Forest Park station. Some 90 minutes after the shootings, Davis was arrested with the alleged murder weapon on the platform of the Pink Line California station with the help of CTA cameras.
The motive for the shooting still not known.
The Department of Justice has unsealed 6 charges against Hamas leaders for financing and directing attacks against Americans, specifically those killed on October 7th.
The DOJ complaint with 7 charges against Hamas leadership was filed in February and unsealed Tuesday. A DOJ official cites recent developments in the region, including the death of 3 of the defendants, in its decision to unseal the charges. The remaining defendants include Yahya Sinwar, a man described as the primary decider in ceasefire negotiations. It accuses this group of financing and directing a decades-long campaign to murder Americans. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, no end in sight to the latest game of TV chicken.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering here asking the question, what does baseball have in common with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Manufacturing. Pella manufactures all their own products. Baseball teams have a similar homegrown strategy by developing its own players in the minors. Testing. Pella tests every product thousands upon thousands of times to ensure it stands the test of time. The ultimate test for baseball players to get called up to the big leagues, hoping to play well enough to stay. Pella is also the window and door equivalent of hitting for the cycle. Quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella product for timeless beauty and performance. And now, Gina Della from Pella is here to call the big finale.
Thanks, Jeff. Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. And now for something you almost can't believe. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Hurry, the deal lasts only until September 30th, so visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life, and that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
An international affair. The Packers head out later this morning for Brazil. How the team will manage more than just Friday's game. Coming up in sports at 6:15.
Police in Platteville need help identifying human remains that were found on Monday evening. Receiving a call that remains were located in a heavily wooded area near the city of Platteville. Officials locating an unidentified dead person. The area is secure, and an investigation into those remains is ongoing.
Ukraine taking a pounding from Russia on several fronts, including the city of Lviv, where at least 7 are dead.
The mayor of Lviv giving an update in the aftermath of the Russian strike there. Along with the deaths, more than 36 wounded, some of them in serious condition. More than 50 buildings also damaged. The attack happened a day after 2 ballistic missiles blasted a military academy in Poltava, killing more than 50. And Ukraine Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba has thrown in the towel, no reason given. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Neither side backing down in the fight between DirecTV and Disney over carrying ABC, ESPN, and other currently blacked out channels.
The CFO of DirecTV, Ray Carpenter, said Tuesday the company will fight, quote, as long as it needs to, as the satellite TV provider battles with Disney over the cost of carrying its channels. Disney-owned channels, including ABC and ESPN, went dark on Sunday. That means no U.S. Open coverage, and customers are on the verge of missing NFL games as the season starts. DirecTV wants more options from Disney when it comes to channel bundles and lower prices for its content. Disney, the parent company of ABC News, has said it has been flexible, but it won't undervalue its portfolio. Jason Nathanson, ABC News. Hollywood.
So still no distraction in between your sets at the gym while the TVs remain black over the treadmills.
You know what? I don't know. People report mixed results when they call their provider then and say like, hey, you're not giving me all the channels that I paid for right now. Where's my discount? Where's my whatever? Sometimes it's not worth your trouble for what they offer you. But good luck with that. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Milwaukee PBS Fest, with great concerts and specials this week, including Joe Bonamassa and Orchestra on All Creatures Great and Small Special, and Revival 69, the concert that rocked the world. Tonight at 8:30 on Channel 10, uncovering the mysteries of our largest planet, Nova, the planet's Jupiter. Milwaukee PBS Fest. Concerts and specials just for you, now playing on channels 10 and 36, Milwaukee PBS.
Baird has invested in the vitality of downtown Milwaukee for over a century. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. Baird is a world-class financial services firm. As one of downtown's largest employers, we believe in supporting the communities we serve. We're proud to call downtown our home, and even prouder to elevate our city's world-class amenities with a new convention center. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Perfect for the busy schedule, Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Chuck is just $4.99 per pound all this week. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What do you see, Deb?
I'm seeing actually a pretty good ride shaping up. We do have one incident on 4394 northbound, right at the ramp from Beecher Street, off on the right shoulder. I think it might just be a violator that was pulled over. But at this point, volume's light enough. We're not causing any kind of issues out there. We're looking at a great ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine continues for today with high temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80. Tonight, mostly clear skies and not as cool. Lakeside areas falling into the lower 60s. Inland areas down to the mid-50s. Thursday will start off with sunshine early on in the day. High temperatures will climb into the mid-80s, but a cold front heads our way, bringing an increase in cloud cover and the chance for some afternoon showers and storms. Friday, cooler air behind that front. Highs only in the upper 60s, mostly cloudy skies and still the chance for a few rain showers. Saturday, partly cloudy, cool and breezy with high temperatures in the mid-60s, lows in the 40s. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with high temperatures near 70. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 54 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
The art car is back in the news this morning.
Oh boy.
As one Milwaukee alderman has the courage to say out loud what the rest of us were thinking all along. What a tremendous waste of money that won't actually touch the problem. It's on a day where, for the second time in a few years, a local business is rebuilding after a car slammed into their building. And that in the news this week. This restaurant, Lafayette Cafe, all smashed up after the owners say a reckless driver cut somebody else off. That sent the swerving vehicle slamming into their front door. At least no one is dead in this crash. The city last month, as we discussed on this here program, rolled out to great fanfare what's called the art car. This is a project that is paid for, and in a moment I'll tell you exactly how much, with your tax dollars as part of the Moving City effort. Milwaukee commissioned the work of its artist in residence to come up with an awareness tool for reckless driving. And we have a few pictures of the art car. You can text CAR to 855-616-1620 and we'll send you the pics. I said it kind of looks like a lizard or like a cartoon dinosaur.
I think it kind of looks like one of those like stretchy stress balls that has all of the little spikes that come out of it.
Yes. So it's all decorated up. It's a Ford Ranger pickup. It's adorned with like parking cones and orange and yellow markings. There are some sayings on there meant to promote safer driving. This awareness tool promoted as a way to combat reckless driving in Milwaukee. We now know how much the city spent on this, and we know at least one alderman is admitting it's an absolute joke. Alderman Lamont Westmoreland did some investigating and found the full price tag on the project will be about $88,000. If I'm being honest, I actually thought it was going to be more.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking six figures.
They could have said almost any number and I've been like, yep, that's about right. The title of his news release, The Moving City, a huge waste of money that won't impact reckless driving. Yes, Alderman, yes! His statement reads further, while I understand the well-meaning intention with this project, as an alderman whose job it is to oversee the city's coffers, I see it as not being a responsible use of money, especially for something temporary, because this thing will only be on the road for a while, and then it'll just go back to the tow lot where they found the truck.
So in the attachment on that statement, the alderman included the memo, which I have here, which details in fine print how much that $88,000 was allocated. Now, among that, there's $25,000 that the city's art board's public art fund already has that is included in the city budget for projects like this. So at least a chunk of this money is coming from something that is at least to be allocated for the arts. Where the conversation, I think, lies is, okay, could that have been maybe used for a much more permanent fixture that really hits the message home versus something like this that, I mean, we're talking about it right now. So is the art doing its job? Perhaps.
Well, it is raising awareness, but is it actually preventing any reckless driving? And I argue
would
no.
believe
Same
no.
does the alderman. Fair point. They're not taking this out of the city police budget and
Correct.
throwing it at the car. That said, and I do want to make this clear. I'm not criticizing the artist. In fact, she was on WTMJ talking about the project. She was commissioned to do this work. She did the job the city asked her to do. So my beef is not with her.
What are they getting mad at me for? We're not.
But it's in concert with the alderman here that we blew more than $80,000 on a joke, an unserious photo op that won't actually impact the problem. Dr. Ken Harris, former Milwaukee Police Lieutenant, host of the afternoon show on 101.7 The Truth. He's in here at 6:50 this morning. Now, before we knew how much even this cost, Ken had already said this.
Why would looking at a truck, make me not drive recklessly? If you could connect those dots, I will eat the truck.
Pretty sure he's not going to have to eat the truck. But the city is eating this $88,000 cost of a laughable effort. 6:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Shop Steinhoffel's Tempur-Pedic Labor Day sale and save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets. Tempur-Pedic Queen Hybrid mattresses start at only $48 per month when you use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Don't panic. Stand down. You've got time. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. And you've still got time to get on the schedule to get a brand new retractable awning from your awnings and screenings experts. Comfort Awnings in Burlington. They service all of southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. And now I had one installed on my home, and I absolutely love it. The process couldn't have been easier. Ben came out to my house, and we went over everything. He measured the house. He showed me models, fabrics, colors, everything. We put it in order, and just within a few weeks, blammo, I had an extension of my living space that makes my yard so comfy. I've even gotten comments from all my visitors to Casa de Lazaga for all the cookouts and get-togethers. And right now, until the end of September, you can get a $250 off any awning or screen. If you really want to enhance your living space and make it look great and comfortable, give Comfort Awnings a call at 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers fly out this morning. It's an 11-hour flight to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Their game Friday night, 7:15. Our time is the kickoff. Sao Paulo is 2 years ahead of us in terms of time, so kickoff will be 9:15 local time there. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says that much, at least, will be better for the team when you're talking about playing one of these international games.
You're essentially going to stay on the same body clock, and I think that's an important part of it. Obviously, leaning on our experts here in terms of what are the best practices, what do you need to do from hydrating to eating meals to the recovery. These guys have researched and talked to a lot of people, and I feel really confident with our plan and what we're going to do. And, you know, the circumstances are the circumstances, but it's the same for both teams. And so you just got to deal with it and appreciate the opportunity, which I think our guys will.
We're going to go live to Austin Straubel Airport at 7:20 this morning in Greenville. Talk with a reporter friend I got up there as fans have been encouraged to come out and see the team off. Packers and Eagles Friday night. That game is on NBC's Peacock streaming service, but also locally, TMJ4 says they will carry the game. Brewers and Cardinals go again tonight. It'll be a rubber match. Cardinals taking game 2 in the series, not without another moment for the kid. Brewers down 2-1 in the third for the 20-year-old rookie Jackson Chourio.
Full boat on Chourio. Payoff. Hit deep into center field. Ciani backtracking. He's on the track in right center at the wall. She is gone, and we are tied. Jackson Chourio again.
He's
so good.
We tied the game at 2, but not much more offense for the Crew. They went to extra innings, tied at 3. St. Louis put up 3 runs in the 12th on reliever Elvis Peguero, and that was that. Cardinals win 7-4. 6:40 is the first pitch tonight. And quickly, to the U.S. Open. The Americans will have a man in the finals on the hard court in Queens. American France Tiafoe won his quarterfinals match Tuesday. His opponent withdrew mid-match due to injury.
It's pretty exciting. First potential time. Well, first time since 2009, and yeah, hopefully it's me.
So this sets up a Friday semifinal between him and American Taylor Fritz. They will play for a spot in the finals. One of these two is going to be the first American to appear in a U.S. Open final since 2009. It's about time. 6:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on The Analysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find The Analysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching The Analysis Show.
Sure hope they gave my guys a call. Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving was at a meeting the other day with one of our fabulous WTMJ partners, and the owner asked me, who's that paving company you talk about? Johnson & Sons Paving, I proudly told him. He asked for a referral. He's got a huge parking lot, and I can't remember, was he looking for a full repave or just a seal coat? But either way, he had gotten a couple of quotes from some other companies, and he didn't like the math on either of them. He wasn't thrilled about their timeline on the project either. Johnson & Sons Paving, local, family-owned company who would love to earn your business. They do the work better because it's the family name on the company. They do the work faster because they do it all in-house. You give them a call for no obligation estimate and tell them Vinny sent you. Asphalt and concrete, plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors. It's johnsonsonspaving.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Rich Top Exteriors and Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey there, Wisconsin. It's Dave from Feldco. The seasons are changing and cooler temps are on the way. Are your windows ready? Feldco's energy-efficient, American-made windows are specifically designed for the Midwestern elements. It's the perfect time to make valuable upgrades to your home that'll keep you warm, safe, and comfortable. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Visit us at 4feldco.com for a free quote or just give us a call. You know the number.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4Feldco.
At 6:22, what's happening on the morning drive, Deb?
Not much. It's looking at I'm looking at a pretty good ride out there. Relatively low volume, no delays at the moment, and pretty much all the incidents have been picked up. So I haven't really seen any kind of issues to get in your way this morning. You are in good shape. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies and a high of 78 degrees today in your Storm Team forecast. Clear skies overnight. Low down to 54, a little bit warmer if you're right by Lake Michigan. For Thursday, a sunny start, then increasing clouds with afternoon and evening showers in storms, high of 85. Friday, we clear out a bit, mostly cloudy, spotty showers possible, and a cool high of just 68. Looking ahead to the weekend, 65 your high on Saturday under partly cloudy skies. Sunday, mostly sunny, and a high of 70 degrees. Right now, 54 in Milwaukee. September 4th, 1964. 60 years ago today, this happened in Milwaukee. Crowds of people showed up at the airport. Thousands lined the streets, hoping for a glimpse. I'm going to play you an interview that aired on WTMJ TV back in the day with some young ladies who were really excited, and maybe you'll guess, if you haven't already, the anniversary we mark today.
When they come in, I suppose that you're going to be letting out one of those loud yells.
Of course,
Why?
because I like them.
Why the yelling, though?
To show how much we like them.
Couldn't you just applaud or whistle?
No.
No, you gotta yell. You too?
Yeah, gotta yell.
Couldn't you just applaud or whistle?
Why don't you just politely clap and just do a little
Golf clap, could you imagine? The
Anybody
Beatles
figured
are
it
like,
out yet?
what's wrong with these people?
Figured it out. It's the Beatles. Their one and only concert in Milwaukee at the arena, sold out. They had staked out the hotel.
1,000 kids outside the Coach House Inn on 19th and Wisconsin. We didn't announce where they were staying. We still don't I don't know, it's word of mouth, or somebody must have known somebody at the coach house and knew that they were staying there, but they were there, and they tried to get in, and they tried to get souvenirs, cigarette butts, whatever they could get. So it was something that I haven't seen it since, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. That was a time that was it was a lot different than it is today.
Maybe some of our senior listeners might even recognize his voice. That is Bob Berry. He was DJ for WOKY at the time, the hottest rock and roll DJ in town. Eric Bilstead looked him up and caught up with him. Bob was given the opportunity to MC the concert, which he described as, apparently this was done. An MC was asked for some of these concerts. He would introduce all the acts. He had done a number of acts that had been in town before. And so he described it that way. What he remembers is when it was time for the Beatles to take the stage, they weren't yet there.
So when it came time for me to introduce the Beatles, they were nowhere in sight. So Jackie DeShannon finished her last song. She was the last warm-up act. And the road manager said, okay, get up there and do something because they're not here yet. And so Eddie introduced me, and I went up, and I had to ad-lib for 15 minutes. And every time I'd mention one of their names or the Beatles, there was tremendous screaming. So thank God for that, because that took a little time. So finally they arrived, and all I said was the Beatles, and I got off stage, and I sat next to the stage, and I couldn't hear what they were singing. I mean, it was that intense. The screaming was just constant. Every once in a while it would die down just a little bit, and you could catch what song they were singing.
Yeah. Again, the screaming was the thing. Like, this was apparently new, and everybody was talking about it. Yes. Why the yelling? Couldn't you just whistle? So I would play you some sound from the show, from the archives, but every one of them that I looked through from WTMJ, you can't hear anything. It's like unusable. So it would just be like borderline static. So Bob Berry there, DJ at WOKY, gets an exclusive interview with the Beatles at the Coach House following that concert day they headed out. And Bob was a big deal at the time. And so he ends up in a picture with the Beatles that's widely disseminated.
Forever known after that day as Beatle Bob, is that right?
Right. The newspaper tagged me the fifth Beatle, and of course all of the MCs around the country were called the fifth Beatle because they were on stage with them. I wish I could have been the fourth Beatle. John, Paul, George, and Bob. I know it doesn't have that ring, but that Ringo.
Yeah, that would have been nice, though.
Never cared much for that Ringo guy.
Great interview with Eric and Beatle Bob. We'll have more of that through the day as we honor this 60th anniversary of that show here in Milwaukee. Bob Berry of WOKY. 627 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average took a tumble, down more than 600 points, 1.5% to 40,937. The NASDAQ was off more than 3% to 17,136. And the S&P 500 down over 2% to 5529. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi with an announcement of my next WTMJ listener trip. Love these. Fox World Travel has crafted a fantastic itinerary which has special significance for me and you. We'll be visiting the country of my people, yes, Sicily. And to make it even more interesting, we're adding the country of Malta. It's called Sicily and Malta Mosaic, and it's happening in October of 2025 next year. Sicily is a fascinating island with an interesting and unique history. We'll see ancient ruins, charming old towns, sparkling coastlines, archaeological sites, and Europe's tallest active volcano, Mount Etna. And then bonus, we'll head to beautiful Malta, one of the smallest and friendliest countries in the world. My wife Kathy and I would love to have you join us on this special WTMJ listener trip. We've done it before. They're always fun. Join us. To get more information or make a reservation, visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Don't miss out on the early booking discount. Sicily and Malta Mosaic. Call today.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News for Wednesday, September 4th. Our top story, continuing to kick the can on resource officers at MPS.
I'm Adam Roberts. A gun store setting up shop near a school in Menominee Falls.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Everything's looking great right now. Light volume, full freeway speeds. We are in good shape. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
High of 78 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Skies remain clear overnight. Low of 61 at the lake, 54 degrees inland. That's where we are right now, 54 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky shaking up his cabinet as the Russians strike more targets in western Ukraine. ABC's Tom Sufi Burge is in Kyiv.
Russia launching a brutal assault on Ukrainian cities. Residential buildings engulfed in flames after explosive drones and missiles bombarded Lviv. Killing at least 7 people and injuring more than 30, including children, say local officials. It comes just a day after one of the deadliest Russian missile strikes of the war.
Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba submitting his resignation today. A federal judge has rejected Donald Trump's request to intervene in his New York hush money criminal case. Sentencing on the more than 30 felonies he was convicted of scheduled for later this month. The British government is out with a damning report on the Grenfell Tower fire that killed 72 people. It says regulations were ignored by both the government and the construction industry. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, school underway for most of southeast Wisconsin districts, including MPS, where faculty and staff and students are mixing for the first time after a summer apart.
Missing from that list are student resource officers.
It's law, and they're just not following the law.
State Senator John Jagler referencing the state legislature's agreement with Milwaukee to have 25 officers in place by January of 2024.
It probably wouldn't have got signed as a standalone bill, but it was negotiated, signed by the governor and put in place, and we fully expected them to comply with the law, but here we are and they haven't.
MPS says it's researching best practices as it pertains to implementing SROs, and they could be in place later this fall. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says the department is ready when called upon.
Milwaukee Public Schools also has a new chief financial officer this week. Aicha Sawa officially started at the position on Tuesday after previously serving as the City of Milwaukee's comptroller. Sawa is also a certified public accountant and internal auditor. She fills the CFO role for the district after the previous person to hold the position, Martha Kreitzman, resigned in June. This amid revelations that the district failed to submit key financial reports, which directly impacted receiving state funding.
Federal and state laws designate schools as gun-free zones. Doesn't mean a store can't set up shop to sell firearms nearby. Shepherd Arms just opened a location in Menominee Falls. It's less than 1,000 feet from North Middle School. The store is required by the village to have an alarm system and to make all products inaccessible without employee assistance. But some parents are upset. Paige Wager saying she's concerned.
It's just not a good situation for anybody. It doesn't put anybody's mind at ease. It just creates more thoughts of what ifs and what could happen and the chaos that could then ensue.
Gun store staff required to tell customers if they buy a gun, it has to remain unloaded and kept in a locked container while they are within 1,000 feet of a school.
A focus on phonics. Wisconsin Act 20 invests $50 million into science-based early literacy education for Wisconsin schools, which means teaching kids to sound out letters to form words. It's an approach called Learning with Phonics. Act 20 co-author State Senator Dewey Strobel telling WTMJ he's worried about the time frame for implementing the changes, which is controlled by the state legislature.
Every day that we do not release this $50 million to me is critical because we have to get our kids to learn to read again. And this is something that I hear every day about our need for this, and we're pushing it hard. We got to get that money out, and we got to get it spent.
Funding would cover curriculum and reading coaches for the schools.
September is Library Card Sign-Up Month. And one librarian makes a pretty convincing argument for getting one. Deb Merritt is a public information coordinator for the Milwaukee County Federated Library System. Tells What's on Tap that in addition to books, DVDs, video games, and more, the most popular item to borrow is a Milwaukee Attraction Pass.
You can go to the art museum, the zoo, the Discovery World, the domes. There are so many places. A family of 4. It's not just one ticket, and very often includes the parking as well.
Merritt says you can even borrow art to decorate your home.
Maybe you can borrow the art car.
Not
to decorate
available
your
to be
garage.
checked out. No. Coming up, fruit is causing headaches at supermarkets in Spain.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 6:35.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Feeling bullied by your bank?
It's not a hidden fee, it's a surprise fee. Surprise!
Like they're just making things harder.
That's not my department. I got to transfer you.
Or like they don't even know you?
That sounds like a you problem.
At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, we've got local experts ready to lend a hand.
Wintrust.
Start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/bullyfree. Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Core Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save big money on your roofing project at Menards. Owens Corning architectural shingles are designed to offer long-lasting performance while providing ultimate protection with up to 130 miles per hour wind and limited lifetime warranty. Choose from over 40 options available at Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. Visit jdpower.com for details and menards.com for deals.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the automobile dealers of Metro Milwaukee. I want to thank all the participating new car member dealers, and especially all of you who helped us recently present a check to Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin for over $72,000, just by having your oil changed at an Adam member dealer. The donation provided over 220,000 healthy meals to those in need. Thank you again for changing your oil and changing lives.
Baird has invested in the vitality of downtown Milwaukee for over a century. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. Baird is a world-class financial services firm. As one of downtown's largest employers, we believe in supporting the communities we serve. We're proud to call downtown our home, and even prouder to elevate our city's world-class amenities with a new convention center. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 6:37.
It'll have to be a rubber game here with the Cardinals. They stole one last night from the Crew in 12 innings. We'll do it in sports at 6:45.
Looking for love in all the wrong places. That's the thoughts of Spanish supermarket owners, as overseas singles in Spain are looking for love in the supermarket aisle, and it's causing headaches for those supermarkets.
It may have started as a joke, but ever since a Spanish humorist posted on TikTok that walking in the wine section of a particular grocery store chain between 7 and 8 p.m. with an upside-down pineapple in your cart is the way to bag dates, the chain has been overrun with young romantics doing just that. Problem is they usually don't actually buy the pineapples, and store staff are left cleaning up lots of the discarded fruit. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
You know what that means, right?
Yes.
My.
Can't you just go online for this? Like, there are many different ways to find a date. You know what I mean?
We're going to see Joe Gao walking through a supermarket parking lot in Spain with just a trail of pineapples.
There are so many ways to do this digitally without polluting somebody's store.
Oh, and pineapples aren't cheap. That's an expensive fruit to just litter in a parking lot.
Sir, are you going to buy that?
No.
I'm thinking about it. See what happens.
I'll get back to you on that.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Is it time to replace the siding at your house? First off, you got to go to Tri-County Contracting. You can hit up their showroom in New Berlin to check out the vinyl siding and the LP Smart Side they have on display. They'll help you find that siding and the color that you will love. And if you're worried about price, don't forget about the 30-year no-faded paint warranty. Transform your house and increase the value. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com.
Our goal is to provide patients with the strongest, most effective, and safest options in this exciting field of regenerative medicine.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
The idea that you can avoid a joint replacement is very exciting.
And that's from a surgeon who's done thousands of joint replacements, but who now believes there's a better way.
Regenerative medicine, as we understand it today, gives lasting pain relief, improved function, without surgery, without drugs.
Under Dr. Scheinkup's leadership, QC Kinetics medical professionals treat patients every day with the most advanced protocols in natural biologics. Literally tens of thousands of people all over America.
I've been doing research on regenerative medicine for 2 decades. This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Perfect for the busy schedule, Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Chuck is just $4.99 per pound all this week. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Deb, a traffic update from Green Bay. The Lamers buses have now pulled up to Austin Straubel Airport. Here's the Packers and staff are getting off the buses and on the airplane bound for Sao Paulo. They're due to fly out later this morning.
Excellent. Okay. Good.
It's a compelling live feed I'm looking at.
I would imagine, yeah.
Guys getting
Especially
off a bus
Straubel.
and walking onto an airplane.
But
there are guys.
Yes, there are guys. All right, westbound on 894, backups from just west of 27th Street to Loomis, then back on the brakes from about 51st Street out to 68th. Through the construction zone. Westbound on 94, a little bit tight just coming out of the stadium interchange. Overall, everything else is rolling along just fine. I'm not seeing really any other backups. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Another fantastic day heading our way with high temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80, along with plenty of sunshine. Tonight, temperatures will drop down into the lower 60s by the lake, mid-50s inland under mostly clear skies. Thursday will start off with sunshine, but clouds will increase towards the afternoon hours as a cold front works towards us. That's going to bring the chance for some afternoon showers and storms with high temperatures in the mid-80s. Behind the front, a big drop in temperatures, upper 60s for highs on Friday, mostly cloudy skies, and still the small chance for a few rain showers. Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures only in the mid-60s with breezy conditions. And then for Sunday, we'll moderate a bit, highs near 70 with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 60 degrees. At 6:42 this morning, we are still waiting on formal charges for the young man accused of shooting and killing a UW Whitewater student just days before classes began at that Walworth County campus.
It's definitely some grief happening. I mean, very sad time. I mean, it's just really heartbreaking to see that happen and hear about it.
A student there on campus talking with TMJ4 News about starting day one with this cloud hanging over. Kara Welsh, a national champion gymnast for the Warhawks and senior business student, was killed at an off-campus apartment Friday night. Police arrested 23-year-old Chad Richards, whom they say he knew Welsh, although the nature of the relationship between the two has not yet been clarified. Police say Richards shot Welsh following an altercation. Now, Richards was in court Tuesday. A judge, again, with charges still pending, did agree to hold Richards on $1 million bond, with police recommending several charges that will ultimately be up to the district attorney's office, but among those recommended is first-degree intentional homicide. In something that I don't recall seeing very often, if at all, at a first hearing, Kara Welsh's family spoke. Her sister addressed the court.
I've heard many people talk about Kara's sports accolades,
which do deserve to be celebrated, but she had so much more to give to the world aside from gymnastics. There was nothing that Kara couldn't do.
So maybe hard to hear there. She was fighting back tears, but she said there's nothing that Kara couldn't do. The family is from Plainfield, Illinois. Kara was just 21 years old. Now, once those charges are filed, which could come at any time, we'll have a criminal complaint, which we expect will have much greater detail on how and perhaps why this happened, but of little consequence to the Welsh family this morning. Chad Richards due back in court at the end of the week. 6:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was more than a year ago that my wife and I decided we needed new garage doors. And now a year later from J.D. Griffiths, and they look brand new. Just gorgeous garage doors that enhance the look of the house. They pop. I tell you, they pop. J.D. Griffiths has been doing it for more than 70 years. And they're not just providing premier garage doors. They're also Milwaukee's detached garage builders. They do it all for you. And now J.D. Griffiths is offering you a deal. You can get $100 off a new garage door opener with the purchase of a brand new garage door from J.D. Griffiths. They'll come in, you'll get that free at-home estimate, and they'll take care of you. Here's what you do. Go to the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ, or call 414-362-7222 and mention me, Eric Bilstead, and you will save some cash. Check out J.D. Griffiths and enhance the look of your home. Those garage doors, they pop. 414-362-7222, J.D. Griffiths.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers and Eagles Friday night. The team set to depart Green Bay within the hour. In fact, looking at a live feed from TMJ Ford News, showed the buses arriving. The plane is out there on the tarmac and players getting off the buses and on the airplane.
Very exciting
Which is
stuff.
very exciting news.
Hoods up, no interaction.
They're,
Very
of course,
interesting.
headed to Sao Paulo, Brazil for this first ever NFL game there. You know, all the hype, the excitement of kicking off the regular season on this special stage, but important to remember, this is one game. And when it's over, win, lose, or draw for the Packers, it's one game with 16 more to play. Packers' entire rest of the season looms after. In that way, head coach Matt LaFleur believes if you're going to have one of these international games, probably good to have it week one.
Yeah, I think there's some advantages to it in the fact that we're playing on a Friday. So you'll have, by the time we get back here on Saturday, the guys will have all of Saturday and Sunday to kind of recover and recruit, and then we'll get back at it on Monday.
And Packers scheduled to fly out 7:20 this morning. It's an 11-hour flight to Sao Paulo. Fans have been encouraged to show up at the airport to see them off. I don't know, if you went out there for that, you're probably going to be disappointed because they didn't walk through like the airport proper. Buses rolled right up next to the plane, so maybe you catch a glimpse.
I'm curious to see how many people actually showed, because this is not the first time that teams have encouraged fans, hey, come and send off the team, rally the troops. I didn't see on the feed we were watching in the studio any shots of the fans at all, so I'm curious how many people were up there.
So I got a reporter friend up there for NBC 26 News in Green Bay. We'll go live to him at 7:20 this morning as the Packers are shipping out. Packers and Eagles kick off 7:15 Friday night. Brewers play the Cardinals one more time tonight at American Family Field.
2-0 pitch. Here's a liner into left. That's going to get down for a base hit. Scott is in. Herrera's around third. He will score, and the Cardinals have played it 2 here in the top of the 12th. It's a 6-4 Cardinals lead.
You heard that right, top of the 12th. Went late. Cards would add another one in that frame, and that was that. Brewers go down in 12 innings, 7-4 the final. Manager Pat Murphy.
It's under my skin, obviously. I take it maybe too personal. That's just me. I still, I love the guys. I don't really get mad at the guys, and it's more about you wish they understood how they're capable of staying mentally tough there.
We're not going to win them all, so let's regroup.
What?
We get one tonight. 6:40 is the first pitch right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news. online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Personalized furniture the way you want it in just 35 days. Shop the Labor Day event in Norwalk Custom Furniture at any Ken Michaels Furniture stores. Showrooms in Greenfield and Brookfield.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, let's get an update on the roads here, Deb.
All right, still getting a little bit heavier out there. Right now, eastbound 94 is tightening up right about at 84th Street all the way to 68th. Westbound is slowing down from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894 also heavy from 27th Street to 68th through that construction zone. Overall, the rest of the system is actually moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Another nice one today. High of 78 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Skies remain clear. Good overnight open windows weather. With a low of 61 at the lake, 54 degrees, your low temp away from Lake Michigan. For Thursday, we start sunny. We'll see increasing clouds in the afternoon. By afternoon and evening, some showers and storms possible with a high of 85 degrees. Friday, mostly cloudy, some spotty showers, and a cool high of just 68. Saturday's high only 65 degrees under partly cloudy skies. A bit on the breezy side as well. And then for Sunday, we see sunshine and a high of 70. Right now, it's 60 in Milwaukee. One Milwaukee alderman isn't buying it. Well, actually, he did buy it. We all did with city tax dollars. But figuratively speaking, he's not buying it. The headline in the news release from Alderman Lamont Westmoreland: the moving city, a huge waste of money that won't impact reckless driving. The moving city, or what we've been calling the art car, is a project we know now will cost about $88,000 to commission an artist to decorate up a truck. And we have a few pictures of the art car on our live stream if you're watching along with us right now. Or you can text CAR to 855-616-1620 and we'll send you the pictures. It's a Ford pickup. It's decorated up with traffic cones, and I've said it looks like a lizard or a cartoon dinosaur.
I think it looks like a stress ball that expands and contracts.
It's meant to raise awareness and thus combat reckless driving in the city. Joined now by former Milwaukee Police Lieutenant, host of the afternoon show on 101.7 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris. Ken, I'm actually surprised it didn't cost more. $88,000, a bargain.
Vindicated. That's all I'm saying. That's my word for the day. I have nothing else to say. I don't have to eat the car. Clearly, the city taxpayers are going to eat it for me at $88,000. And wait a minute. That's like somebody coming in your house and putting on a roof and telling you they're going to charge you $88,000, but the shingles are used. Like you used trash to put together a house. An old car, old parts, old rubber cones, right? And you actually paid somebody $88,000 for that.
So let me state this. I have no beef with the artist. The city paid her to do the job that she did. So, like, my criticism of this is not like how she created the art car or what the end result was, whatever. They paid her. So she did her job. My issue, as yours has been, is with the city bothering with this. And actually, you know what? Eric's always fond of saying, yeah, but what does it hurt? And my thing, besides the money,
right?
It also seems unserious.
I question... Let me remove this artist out and speak in general. I question the integrity of a person who knows that they're getting paid for something that they know is nowhere near what it should be. Now, if this was part of the salary they gave her as artist in residence, that's one thing. But if you spent $88,000 and built that car, you cheated the city.
So we've got the memo that was also attached by the alderman that breaks down that $88,000. And to your point, of that, it looks like $68,000 was from unspent public art funds from previous years in the city's coffers used for an artist stipend as well as project costs. So about 75% of that $88,000.
But that doesn't tell me how much was spent on the car. That just tells me that it's this large number. And that's what cities are good at doing, hiding things in large numbers. So was a percentage of that money salary? And how much did we pay on the parts? All that, all those little details, like where are the receipts? Somebody had to submit receipts to the city to get paid or reimbursed or pay in, invoices and all that.
Let me read you a little bit more from Alderman Westmoreland's statement. Let's be real. We won't see a real drop in reckless driving until penalties are drastically increased. As many of the perpetrators know, the current justice system is weak and they'll just receive a slap on the wrist and be released.
But see, that's funny. The current justice system is not weak. You just need to follow through. You need to make the city charge a state charge. Then it has more weight. But we won't do that because we can't get the city attorney to put people who commit homicide and keep them.
Because we're not actually serious. We'd rather do the art car because that feels nice and it looks cool or whatever. I've long said if the art car had measures it could deploy like an actual cartoon car, like a lasso or something, or a harpoon to stop reckless driving. That would be great. But
or a built-in taser.
Right. If it could actually do something out on the road. How about Alderman Westmoreland? I think it's interesting. To my knowledge, he's one of the only, if the only person on the Common Council who's actually spoken out and said out loud what we all thought all along.
Yes.
What happens to a guy like this?
I think he'll make it, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure that he'll get the support that he needs from the media, from me. But usually over time, common sense tends to either be drained from the person or it kills the person and their political career.
Right? Because they get wore out, banging their head against the wall. It's like, here I am. Anybody else? Anybody else want to call this BS?
Yeah.
Well, and
nobody? Just me?
Well, and we also have historically a lot of new faces in this Common Council cycle. There's a lot of people who this is their first run at this position. So, they've got at least a chance if they want to have this be an extended job. We'll see.
Yeah, but most of them have been, legislative aides, have worked with people on state and federal offices. So it's not like they just rolled in and didn't know what they were doing. They know what they're doing. They're just being 190 stupid.
And we'll leave it at that. Pretty sure you ain't going to have to eat that truck.
No.
I think that's a good bet. Dr. Ken Harris, host of the afternoon show. You can hear him every day on 101.7 The Truth. Thanks, man.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Wingstop plans to open a new location in December in Wauwatosa at 6933 West North Avenue. It will be one of 12 Milwaukee area locations owned by ARS Brands. The nonprofit organization that supports the Mitchell Park Dome's Horticulture Conservatory proposes a $133.4 million project to revitalize the site. Friends of the Domes presented the proposal to Milwaukee County's Committee on Parks and Culture. Developers project a spring 2025 start for construction of 523 new apartments in Wauwatosa. The project, known as the Foundry at Mayfair Collection, is planned for 11220 West Burleigh Street. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Debbie Loziga here for Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off and 0 interest for 12 months on your Luckstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it. And we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Protect mom's assets. Protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Time for another showdown against the Brewers' old rivals, the Cardinals.
Jackson Churio just hit one with the bases loaded.
Our coverage continues tonight at 6:05. This series is sponsored by MATC, home of the Stormers. We are your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, September 4th, our top story. An overnight fire leaves 7 people out of their home in Milwaukee.
I'm Adam Roberts, picking up the pieces at an East Side cafe.
I'm Debbie Lozigo. Got some delays now. Westbound 94 coming out of the 16th Street area all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound on 94 backing up out of the Zoo interchange to about Hawley Road. Westbound 894, 27th Street to 68th. Through the construction zone, our usual delays there. Northbound on the Rock Freeway, we're seeing delays from before Highway 100 all the way into the Hale interchange. That buildup of volume there. I'm Debbie Lozigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today, on our way to a high of 78 degrees. Clear skies tonight, 61. Your low temp at the lake, 54 degrees inland. Right now at 60 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 7 people put out of their home after a neighboring vacant house burned down overnight in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. It was a big fire, started about 11:30 Monday night near Bremen and Center. It destroyed the vacant home and caused damage to 2 neighboring properties. Milwaukee fire officials said one firefighter was hurt. His injuries not said to be life-threatening while putting out the blaze. The cause of that fire still under investigation.
In Oneida County, a 4-year-old is dead after an ATV accident over the weekend in the town of Pelican Saturday, southeast of Rhinelander. An ATV was traveling with 3 passengers aboard, all under the age of 10. They rolled off into the road, and then a 4-year-old became trapped under the ATV. While witnesses attempted to help remove the vehicle from the child died at the scene. The investigation into the crash is ongoing.
The owners of a popular East Side cafe trying to figure out the future of their business after a car crash severely damaged the Lafayette Place on Monday. The restaurant right now boarded up. The front entrance could collapse from the damage. Residential tenants are not impacted at the building. Matthew Wurzer lives in a second-floor apartment there and tells TMJ4 News that he hopes for better driving on Farwell.
They're trying. They're putting up those kind of speed bump things. Would be nice if they could put up more of those and things like that. I think that would be ideal, but it's really it's about the community that's got to, get it together.
The building owner says it was actually struck by a car twice now in 4 years.
The school year is underway, and Milwaukee Public Schools still has no plan in place to have school resource officers back in buildings anytime soon. This despite a state-imposed deadline.
A minimum of 25 school resource officers were supposed to be in place in January of 24.
When the bill was passed, the school board president said, look, I don't agree with this, but we're going to comply.
State Senator John Jagler.
I've been in contact with the Milwaukee Police Association. They're ready to go.
MPS ended its contract with the Milwaukee Police Department for school resource officers in 2016.
when you talk to parents over and over again about why they enter the school choice program, the number one reason is safety.
Greg Mansick, WTMJ News.
MPS says it's working to collect data from other cities on how to best define the role of a school resource officer.
Decision Wisconsin, latest polling average from The Hill shows Vice President Harris leading in 3 key battleground states, including Wisconsin. However, News Nation's Alex Capriel says former President Trump's ground game could give him an edge in the Badger State.
As someone who actually grew up in Wisconsin, I can tell you that a handshake and a smile really goes a long way here in this state, and it really seems as if the Trump campaign recognizes that. Going back to some of these basics of the ground game, things that we've been doing for decades when it comes to election campaigns, setting up booths at state fairs, knocking on doors, having conversations, passing out literature, and also cold calling people that are on that registered voters list and just telling them about their candidate.
Now, President Trump due to campaign in Mosinee, Wisconsin this weekend. President Biden is due back in the state, southwest Wisconsin, for a rally tomorrow.
Coming up, having fun isn't hard when you've got this tool.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:04.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
If the first thing on your to-do list is to start a to-do list, if the snooze button has fallen off your alarm clock, or if your favorite day is tomorrow, you're a procrastinator. And your friends at Mr. Holland's Home Services remind you that cold weather is fast approaching. Is your furnace ready for frigid days and frosty nights? Yes, we know you're not thinking about winter when it's still on the warm side. But let's face it, planning ahead isn't one of your superpowers. So just take a quick minute to call Mr. Holland's and secure a brand new, high-efficiency heating and cooling system today. You may even qualify for payments as low as $69 a month with approved credit. You'll be set for winter, and you'll finally have time to read that book on how to stop procrastinating that you bought in 2016. 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Tired of being put off by the cold? We can help.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, receive 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Reclaim your outdoor space.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
An international affair. The Packers head off to Brazil for their game on Friday. How they will prepare beyond just the game. That's coming up in sports at 7:15.
It's taken 7 years to produce, but finally the findings of a devastating Grenfell Tower fire in London, which killed 72 people, has been released.
A predictable but damning conclusion in the long-awaited report. The deadly high-rise fire was the result of decades of failure by successive governments and the failure of the construction industry to act on the dangers of flammable materials on such buildings. The 7-volume report cites systematic dishonesty of firms who made and sold the cladding and insulation of Grenfell that went up like a candle. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
DirecTV is not backing down in its fight with Disney over carrying ABC, ESPN, and other channels which are currently blacked out on the platform.
The CFO of DirecTV, Ray Carpenter, said Tuesday the company will fight, quote, as long as it needs to, as the satellite TV provider battles with Disney over the cost of carrying its channels. Disney-owned channels, including ABC and ESPN, went dark on Sunday. That means no U.S. Open coverage, and customers are on the verge of missing NFL games as the season starts. DirecTV wants more options from Disney when it comes to channel bundles and lower prices for its content. Disney, the parent company of ABC News, has said it has been flexible, but it won't undervalue its portfolio. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
There's a card you can sign up for this month that will give you access to dozens of free perks.
That card is the Humble Library Card, and there's so much more than books. You can use it to borrow for free.
We have online courses, ebooks, and audiobooks for you to borrow, all kinds of actual physical things to borrow, like games and puzzles.
Deb Merritt is the Public Information Coordinator for Milwaukee County Federated Library System. She says you can even borrow a Chromebook and a Wi-Fi hotspot, and the library itself is a pretty popular place.
We got a lot of kids coming in for a lot of programs, and while a lot of libraries have a quiet area, you no longer have to tiptoe around the library.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Shh. All 27 of Milwaukee Public Libraries encourage people to sign up during September for Library Card Month. Do they still give you a physical card?
Oh, yeah. I've got my card right here in my pocket.
I knew you would.
What does that mean?
Coming up, all aboard the Hiawatha for Madison.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Last guy you had out at the house said, you need a new unit and you don't like the quote you got. Vince Vitrano for Your Comfort Guys, Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical. Now, I've been telling you about the great service I've had with Nicole and Brent, this family-owned local business, Absolute Comfort. These are good people. Just had them over here the other day. Brent was telling me oftentimes when he's in someone's house, they'll ask, what would you do? This is where trust is so important. This is where, if you trust me, believe me when I say I trust Brent and his son Drew, his wife Nicole, to treat me like their family. What would you do? The answer is going to be from the heart, not from a guy trying to sell you the most expensive fix or a new unit. If Brent can fix it, he's going to fix it. And if he says it's shot and maybe you need something new, he's going to get you the best price on your parts, service, or even a whole new HVAC unit. Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical. Tell him Vinny sent you. 262-664-9284. Your Comfort Guys. That's yourcomfortguys.com.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions!
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer! No, it's a two-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game! That's the stuff of legend.
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Perfect for the busy schedule, Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Chuck is just $4.99 per pound all this week. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie.
Alrighty, got some delays eastbound 94 from Meadowbrook Road to Highway 16. A little bit more coming out of the Barker Road area to Brookfield Road. And then back on the brakes from the zoo interchange through the stadium to about 35th Street. The westbound side is just going to be a bit heavy from about I'd say 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894, of course, as usual, 27th Street to 68th through that construction zone as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We keep the good weather rolling for today. High temperatures upper 70s to near 80 this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear and not as cool. Lakeside areas fall to the lower 60s. Inland areas drop to the mid-50s. Thursday will start off with sunshine, increasing clouds as we head towards the afternoon hours as a cold front approaches. That's going to bring the chance for afternoon showers and storms with high temperatures in the mid-80s. A pretty good drop in temperatures behind the front. Highs on Friday in the upper 60s, mostly cloudy skies and the chance for an isolated rain shower. Saturday, partly cloudy skies, cool and breezy, highs in the mid-60s, overnight lows in the 40s. Sunday, high temperatures will warm near 70 with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 57 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 7:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News, this has been talked about from time to time, passenger rail service between Milwaukee and Madison. There may be some movement on this, Adam?
Perhaps. I would say what we have right now, Vince, is the idea of a framework of a possibility for that idea.
We should establish a blue ribbon commission.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, maybe we can get paid $88,000 for this commission. Yes, there is an idea that's going to be discussed this week. So Milwaukee Downtown will do these Madison-Milwaukee Downtown Exchange virtual conferences from time to time discussing the relationship between Wisconsin's two largest cities. And the one coming up this week, it's on Thursday, discusses that very idea, passenger rail, which would be done between what already exists, the Hiawatha line. If you live in Milwaukee or southeast Wisconsin, you're probably familiar with the train that goes between here and Chicago. I used it to get to the DNC this past month.
Very popular service.
Absolutely. That ride down, I was on the 6 a.m. Still, more than half of the seats, I would say. It's very popular to get between the two cities. But again, a train link between Milwaukee and Madison currently doesn't exist. Now, Amtrak has gotten a lot of money from the Biden administration to expand passenger rail service to the tune of over $100 billion with the bipartisan infrastructure law. Among that is choosing key areas and what they call key targets. And Eau Claire is another one of these areas. The Twin Cities was, and we got that with the Borealis line that was released. Too much fanfare, I may add. I was at the unveiling for that in spring and saw the governor and the mayor getting off the train, greeting everyone. And I recall everyone on the train was very much like, can we just move along? You know, I've got places to be. Can we maybe do a little bit less with the gift bags and whatnot and just get on with our trip? But yes, so this is an idea, again, of a framework, of a possibility of a discussion that will happen. So there's nothing in concrete, although the city of Madison is expected to get a train station, which is the first step.
Well, that's
obviously.
an important step, right?
Yeah, otherwise, are you just going to have them go to like an old rail yard in Middleton?
When they're looking downtownish in Madison, right? Because when we were talking about high-speed rail, that was going to be out by the airport, and then that was going to cause you to have to take yet another mode of transit if you wanted to get to the Capitol or UW campus.
At which point, which is one of the key things of public transit, when it becomes inopportune to do, then you might as well not do it. But yes, looks like downtown is the target area, which would be perfect. I mean, you want to drop people off where it's happening. Think our intermodal station. It's right downtown in Milwaukee. It makes the most sense. So that is the target. And again, this will be discussed tomorrow at a Milwaukee-Madison Downtown Exchange, and more to come on this.
Sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's your knee that's bugging you, right? Or is it your back? For some of us, it's the hips. Achy joints with pain you can't get over. Well, there is a way to fix it. There is a way to get lasting pain relief using your own body's healing properties. It's all thanks to QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics can help enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing all the fun things you like to do without pain. No surgery, no painkillers, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using cellular therapies. If you want to learn more, the consultations are free. You can set up an appointment at QC Kinetics. They have clinics in Mequon and in Greenfield. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call now and get lasting joint pain relief with the help from QC Kinetics. 414-285-3474.
September baseball is coming, and every Brewers game means even more this time of year. Get to American Family Field as the Crew takes on the Rockies September 6th through the 8th. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers flying out this morning, an 11-hour flight to Sao Paulo, Brazil. The game is Friday night, 7:15 our time is the kickoff. Sao Paulo is 2 hours ahead of us, so 9:15 local time there in Brazil. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur said that much will be better for the team when you're talking about playing one of these international games.
You're essentially going to stay on the same body clock, and I think that's an important part of it. Obviously, leaning on our experts here in terms of what are the best practices, what do you need to do from hydrating to eating meals to the recovery. These guys have researched and talked to a lot of people, and I feel really confident with our plan and what we're going to do. And, you know, the circumstances are the circumstances, but it's the same for both teams. And so you just got to deal with it and appreciate the opportunity, which I think our guys will.
And we're going to go live to Austin Straubel Airport about 5 minutes from now. Talk with the reporter friend I got up there as fans were encouraged to come out and see the team off. Packers and Eagles Friday night. That game is on NBC's Peacock streaming service, but you can watch it locally on TMJ4 as well if you don't have the Peacock. Brewers and Cardinals go again tonight. It'll be a rubber match. Cardinals taking game 2 in the series. Not without a moment once again for the kid. Brewers down 2-1 in the third for the 20-year-old rookie Jackson Chourio.
Full boat on Chourio. Payoff. Hit deep into center field. Ciani backtracking. He's on the track in right center at the wall. She is gone and we are tied. Jackson Chourio again.
Interesting early. That one tied the game at 2, but not much more offense for the Crew. Went on to extra innings in this one, tied at 3, but then St. Louis put up 3 runs in the 12th on reliever Elvis Peguero, and that was pretty much that. Cards win 7-4. 6:40 is the first pitch tonight. And to the U.S. Open, the Americans will have a man in the finals on the hard court in Queens. American Francis Tiafoe won his quarterfinals match Tuesday night. His opponent withdrew mid-match due to injury.
It's pretty exciting. First potential time. Well, first time since 2009, and yeah, hopefully it's me.
Hopefully it's me. So that sets up a Friday semifinal between him and the American Taylor Fritz. They will play for that spot in the finals. One of these two guys is going to be the first American man to appear in a U.S. Open final since 2009. It's about time. Live to Green Bay, next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Got to go in to see Dr. Alex Young and his team today. You know, my neck, back, and shoulder have been feeling so much better, but 28 hours in the car on a round trip to New York over the weekend. Definitely feeling it. Time for an adjustment. But let me tell you something. These docs fix a lot more than that. Was just visiting with a local mom. She started taking her 2-year-old son to see Dr. Alex for, among other things, constipation and eczema. They tried meds. Nothing seemed to be working. Regular adjustments now at Connect Chiropractic cleared those things up. And Mom was so impressed that both she and her other son are now in care with Connect Chiropractic. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. So no concerns there with even the youngest of kids. The docs use a special tool for all the adjustments that is pain-free and effective. And you can stop out and visit them. They're out in the community all the time. Wauwatosa, West Allis, Waukesha, and Pewaukee. Connect Chiropractic is out at all of those farmers markets. So you can stop by and visit or get started online anytime. Go to Go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic sponsored by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. What do you see on the roads, Deb?
Oh, well, we've got eastbound 94 tightening up just a wee bit, basically from Meadowbrook Road to Highway 16 through that construction zone. You'll be back on the brakes from just east of Highway F all the way through the Barker Road area. Give yourself a little extra time there. Looks like we've got a violator pulled over off on the right side, just past Barker Road. And then we got more delays from just before the Zoo interchange all the way to about 35th Street. Westbound is backed out from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard and starting to see some delays on southbound 43 now from Hampton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your Storm Team forecast will take you through the weekend. Today, mostly sunny and a high of 78 degrees. Clear skies tonight. Open the windows. 61 degrees at the lake for your low. 54 if you're away from Lake Michigan. Thursday, we start sunny, and then we'll see increasing clouds through the day. Afternoon and evening could bring some showers and storms with a high of 85 degrees. Friday's high just 68 under mostly cloudy skies and chance for some spotty showers. For the weekend, high of 65 on Saturday under partly cloudy skies. Will be breezy and cool. And then the sunshine returns for Sunday with a high of 70. Right now, Milwaukee at 59 degrees. Happening right now, the Green Bay Packers are flying out to Brazil for their Friday night game against the Eagles. Fans encouraged to come out to Austin Straubel Field in Green Bay to see them off. And let's go live there right now. We've got a reporter for NBC 26 News in Green Bay. Mac Hageman is on the line. Mac, how was the fan turnout?
I would say about 20 people showed up today, very excited, especially when they they were very excited. I would say that these are probably the super fans. They said it's important to be here. You know, when they win, when they lose, they're here all the time. So they're excited for a big win against the Eagles in Brazil. They're going to be here when they come back here too. So I was a little disappointed with the turnout, but you know what? These are the super fans. These are the people who are excited. These are the people who were showing up. So it was great to talk to them and hear their stories about years past of all the times that they've been up here at Austin Straubel to send them off.
Okay, so Mac, we were watching the feed earlier, and it looked like the Packers just kind of got off the Lamers buses and went right to the planes. Did they have any interaction? I mean, if you're one of the 20 that were out there and were a super fan as you say they are, you'd think, give them a little bit of love, scratch their back a bit.
Oh my gosh, I wish that was the case. I was actually anticipating that when I showed up. I was like, I hope they're going to be able to interact, but that wasn't what happened at all. The buses came in, went right to the plane, and it was a pretty quick trip up the stairs there to get on the plane. I would say they got off the bus and on the plane in a matter of about 5 minutes. So it was a quick trip.
Talking with Mac Hageman. He's a reporter for NBC 26 News in Green Bay. So we're wheels up, right? The plane is off and in the air?
Absolutely. It took off about 5 minutes ago. It's been in the air, and I can no longer see it. I would say it's been out of sight for about 2 minutes now.
How much are people talking about this game in Green Bay? I mean, fortunately, we don't lose a home game by having this international game. This was technically an away game for us, played at a neutral site. But how much is this the talk of the season so far in Green Bay?
Oh my gosh, everyone here has been talking about this one for months. I actually had the opportunity to connect with some folks in Brazil. I didn't realize that the Packers had such a huge following in Brazil. Of course, they have the same colors, the green and gold. They're big fans of that. They say, because they're a winning team, that they have a lot of popularity there too. But they also say because the Green Bay Packers are community owned, they don't have a specific owner, how the soccer teams are in Brazil. That's been a huge following for the Green Bay Packers, too. So not only are fans going to be sending them off here with well wishes, but hopefully once they land in Brazil, they'll have some fans there connecting with them as well. So excited for them to land in Brazil. That's going to be an 11-hour flight, which I can't even imagine. I talked with the airport director. He tells me this plane that came in here, it's a Boeing 777, 242 feet long, 212 feet wide. He says that they never deal with planes like this whatsoever. He said the last time that they had a pretty big plane in here was a 747 when they brought the Ravens in. So they had quite a bit of runway that they had to, back up to and take off into the air. But they did it. They're off, and hopefully they're going to be coming back with a victory. We'll see.
Mac Hageman with us from Green Bay's Austin Straubel Airport this morning. Thanks, Mac.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hopefully the homecoming is better attended. But, to his point, like there wasn't anything to see. It'd be one thing if they had to walk through the airport and the terminal and all that, and people, because I've been there for some of the homecomings, cover them in the late 90s, and those are really fun. 1,000 fans or more there.
You'd think one of their PR people can say, okay, well, there's 20 people. Just a little
Mark
wave.
Murphy go by and wave a flag or something.
We go
All right.
slide down the hill. I don't know.
Packers are wheels up for Brazil. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average took a tumble down more than 1.5% to 40,937. The NASDAQ closed down more than 3% to 17,136. And the S&P 500 left Tuesday at 55.29, down 119 points. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and folks who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations.
Hi, Vince. Great to be here.
So last time, Jeff, we were talking about insurance programs that have gaps or they're not properly designed and how that can trigger a devastating financial loss for a business. You called that balance sheet events. What are some of the common mistakes you see businesses making?
Vince, contracts are a big concern. Just the other day, we were with a new prospective client, and the owners were concerned they had issues with the contracts they were signing and the contracts that they were using. It's important to understand what those contracts are attempting to do.
Tell me a little bit more about that. What kind of contracts?
Vince, we look at vendor contracts, lease agreements for equipment, and lease agreements for property. Many times, these contracts are trying to shift responsibilities and liabilities to your organization for certain events. Most contracts also include an insurance requirements clause. Many times, we identify where businesses are out of compliance. It's a big issue. The contract requires X. The business has Y. You're out of compliance.
Jeff, what else have you been discovering?
Another coverage that's frequently misunderstood and frequently improperly calculated is business income and extra expense insurance. The limits are too low, the duration's too short, and there's no dependent property coverage.
Sounds like if you're not working with the right team of insurance professionals, it can cost you. So why should a business work with R&R Insurance?
Because R&R Insurance can take these balance sheet events off the table and give business owners peace of mind. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. More information at myknowledgebroker.com. 7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. Sorry, 7:30. And this is Wisconsin's Morning News on September 4th. Our top story, a home leveled by fire overnight.
I'm Adam Roberts. An inside look at the Walls motorcade crash in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Eastbound 94 backing up from Meadowbrook Road to Highway 16. Back on the brakes from about Highway 100 all the way to 35th Street. Westbound's backed up out of the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. 6 days until the first presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Today, both candidates, however, will be on the campaign trail. Harris will be in New Hampshire. Trump will be in Pennsylvania. The former deputy chief of staff to New York Governor Kathy Hochul facing federal charges, accused of being paid millions of dollars by the Chinese government to act on its behalf. A Chicago man is charged with murdering 4 people who were believed to be asleep on a transit train when police say he walked aboard and shot them with a handgun.
This was an incredibly unfortunate act, a criminal act, a loss of life that we all grieve for.
Suburban Forest Park, Illinois Mayor Rory Hoskins, alleged gunman Ronnie Davis will be in court today. A damning report out this morning on the deadly Grenfell Tower fire in London 7 years ago that killed 72. And South Korea says it's detected more of those trash-carrying balloons from North Korea. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 7 people put out of their home after a neighboring vacant home burned down overnight in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. That fire started about 11:30 Monday. A lot of flames coming from Bremen and Center. It destroyed a vacant home and then caused damage to 2 neighboring properties. Milwaukee fire officials report 1 firefighter was injured. Injuries not considered to be life-threatening while putting out that blaze. The cause of the fire still under investigation.
A 4-year-old dead after an ATV accident over the holiday weekend in northern Wisconsin. Oneida County Sheriff's officials called to the town of Pelican on Saturday evening. That's just southeast of Rhinelander. 3 passengers, all under the age of 10, had rolled off of the road in the accident. Then a 4-year-old was trapped under the ATV. Witnesses attempted to get the vehicle off, but the child died at the scene. An investigation into the crash remains ongoing.
Police in Platteville asking for help identifying human remains. They got a call Monday evening that remains were found in a heavily wooded area. Officers located an unidentified person and secured that area. Investigation is ongoing.
Multiple reporters still recovering after a crash involving the Tim Walz motorcade transporting the Democratic VP candidate through Milwaukee on Labor Day. Reporter with CBS 58 Emily Fannin was injured in that crash. She tells WTMJ that police response to the scene was almost instant thanks to a little bit of technology.
Specifically with iPhones, it will know when you're involved in a crash. So EMS police were on site, I would say, within a matter of minutes. Thankfully, we're able to administer some aid.
Governor Walz was unharmed in the crash and proceeded to deliver a speech at Milwaukee's annual Labor Fest.
We're moving back towards a phonics-based reading curriculum, and our kids are going to benefit from this because the research has shown that. It's something we have to do.
And as State Senator Dewey Strobel, co-author of Wisconsin Act 20, it was signed in 2023, legislation investing $50 million into science-based early literacy education for Wisconsin schools. It uses phonics, meaning teaching kids to sound out letters to form words as part of learning to read, which many of us are familiar with. That's how we used to do it. It's now back up to the state legislature to release the funds.
It is back to school season, and it can be a time when anxiety returns for many children and teens. Director of Wisconsin Office of Children's Mental Health, Linda Hall, tells WTMJ spanning the state it's important for parents to check in with their kids, recommending establishing a daily time for open communication.
Kids also tell us, listen, don't try to fix everything right away. Sometimes they just want to be heard. And parents, especially if they think their kids are anxious, they tend to want to fix it, do something to take care of it. And the kids are saying, no, just listen to us.
And it's not just at school. Hall says teenagers often report anxiety related to both climate change as well as politics. Coming up, the Trump campaign, speaking of politics, needs your help to get a new movie in theaters.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:37.
Brewers play-by-play man Jeff Levering, our guest on Brewers 360 at 7:45.
Producers of a controversial upcoming movie about former President Donald Trump are asking you to help get the film in theaters.
In The Apprentice, Sebastian Stan stars as a young Donald Trump.
It's going to be the finest building in the world. It's going to be spectacular.
The film premiered this year at the Cannes Film Festival to mixed reviews, and it struggled to find a distributor. It did, but even so, the producers say they're having trouble getting it in theaters, so they've turned to Kickstarter, asking people to contribute money to, quote, promote and defend the acclaimed Trump biopic that corporate America is scared to show you. A $100 donation gets your name in the credits. $3,500 gets you one of the toupees worn in the film. Trump's camp has called the movie pure garbage, full of debunked lies. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
So 2 things that I think about with this. First of all, does that full tagline the defending the acclaimed Trump biopic that corporate America is scared to show. Does that fit on the promo poster? You got to use pretty small text to get all that on there.
It's a great tactic, though. They don't want you to see this. Like, you see that all the time in online posts and whatever, and then why don't they want me to see it?
And the second thing, $3,500 donation. Now, Kickstarter is known for, if you donate at this tier, you will give you this. If you donate at the acclaimed tier, we'll give you a house or something crazy like that. $3,500 for one of the toupees worn in the film seems like a little bit of a low bar to clear for things to give for contributing that much money to get a film in theaters.
I like the name in the credits, $100.
Yeah, right. Vinny Vitrano. Do you want your name attached to some of those projects?
Perhaps no. 7:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
Your best night's sleep starts on a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedics are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Right now, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets. Tempur-Pedic Queen Hybrid mattresses start at only $48 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing. Sleep better tonight on a new Tempur-Pedic. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Hi all, Debbie Laziga here for my friends at Hall Volkswagen in Brookfield. And now that summer is barreling towards fall, you have a whole new set of adventures, like getting the kids to their activities or getting you to where you need to be. With an eye towards the weather and road conditions, the 2024 Volkswagen lineup has got you covered. They offer Signature IQ Drive, giving you peace of mind, 5 years of included CarNet safe and secure services. What are those? Well, it's a service that lets you lock your car, locate where you parked it, even start your Volkswagen remotely with the My VW app on your phone. It's pretty slick. And don't forget the sleek VW styling that they've become famous for. It's time to experience the change of seasons in an all-new 2024 Volkswagen from Hall Volkswagen in Brookfield. At Hall Volkswagen, it's Hall good.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Deb, do you have a desk upstairs, or do you have a space that you work upstairs?
I do not.
Okay, is that by design? Like, you normally wouldn't, though, right? You do all your stuff down
no,
here,
because
right?
I've got my workstation here, and this is pretty much where I would normally be. So.
Well, I asked because I'm going to spill the tea on the desk thing here.
Okay, let's.
Are you sure? Do you think is that a good idea?
Open up the can of you know.
Right,
no, I don't know.
No, we'll pull back the curtains, folks.
Tell you more about it in a minute. Go ahead and do the cars.
Alrighty. We have delays eastbound 94. Now they're stretching back to Elmhurst Road all the way past Highway 16. This is through that construction zone where we're down a lane. It's also going to be a bit backed up from about Redford Boulevard all the way through the Barker Road area towards Brookfield Road. And more delays from the zoo all the way to 35th Street. Westbound, you got backups out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 43, heavy from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound 4394, we got some backups coming out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up to Oklahoma Avenue. And more delays on the Rock Freeway, northbound from before the county line, basically from the Layton off-ramp all the way through to the Hale interchange and onto 894 eastbound. Starts to let up just a wee bit right about at 84th Street. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine continues for today with high temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80. Tonight, mostly clear skies and not as cool. Lakeside areas falling into the lower 60s. Inland areas down to the mid-50s. Thursday will start off with sunshine early on in the day. High temperatures will climb into the mid-80s, but a cold front heads our way, bringing an increase in cloud cover and the chance for some afternoon showers and storms. Friday, cooler air behind that front. Highs only in the upper 60s, mostly cloudy skies and still the chance for a few rain showers. Saturday, partly cloudy, cool and breezy with high temperatures in the mid-60s, lows in the 40s. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with high temperatures near 70. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 57 degrees. 7:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So, where you work, maybe you have a desk, you might have an entire cubicle, maybe you're fancy and you got a whole office. And everybody does it different, every office space, but pretty much people have like a desk. That's their desk, right? Mm-hmm. If you're in an office environment. We do things a little bit differently here at Good Karma Brands, which is, our corporate offices, then you've got 101.7 The Truth, ESPN Milwaukee, and then us here at WTMJ. And in that office space, which is upstairs from our studios, some folks have desks and offices, but for most of us, there are desks available, but you don't have an assigned desk.
Correct. Like, I am one of those individuals. Normally, I'm in the newsroom working away at a story, but I do not have myself an assigned quote-unquote spot.
There's actually a term for this, and it's called hoteling. Basically, it's that you don't live in any one spot in your office. You hotel around. So one time you're in this spot, and then another time you're in that spot, and whatever. And there are reasons for and against for doing that. But one of the things that I will expose on this year program coming up after 8 o'clock is one of the reasons I don't think it's working here at our office. At least it doesn't work for me. It's working very well for some of our friends and teammates.
But how do I factor into this?
I don't know if I'll name names, Deb, but I definitely will call some folks out.
All right. It just makes it a little more difficult for us to find people we need to talk to.
There's that and an assortment of other things that are bothering me. Mm-hmm. But there's a reason I'm going to share it, because we're going to talk with Mike Grubich of LAK Group. It's a local business consulting firm, about why some companies do this, how this may impact your work environment. We're going to do all of that coming up after 8 o'clock this morning. Brewers 360 is up next.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where Wisconsin's best 2024 closeout sale is on. It's where to score deep closeout savings on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Get more for your trade and discover car buying that makes fans of drivers. As a longtime fan myself, I'm confident you'll enjoy Team Holiday's genuine guest care and simple, pressure-free buying approach. Find yours and drive it home today from Holiday, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in Fond du Lac and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers are wheels up. Their 11-hour flight from Green Bay to Sao Paulo, airborne at about 7:15 this morning, departed Austin Straubel Airport in Green Bay. Game coming up on Friday against the Eagles. And the Brewers fell to the Cardinals 7-4 in 12 innings. The rubber game tonight at 6:40, first pitch on WTMJ. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, and we're joined by play-by-play man Jeff Levering. Morning, Levo.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Man, I think I checked out at 3-3 and had all the expectations that I was going to wake up to a win. It was a late one, and it didn't go our way.
Yeah, it happens. The Brewers just didn't have many hits after the fifth inning. You had the RBI double from Jackson Chourio, and then just kind of went to sleep offensively. But really well pitched, I think, for both teams. It's just one of those days where it just didn't work out for you. It felt like in the 10th inning, they had the bases loaded, only one out, had an opportunity to win the ball game, didn't work out, ends up going to a 12th. And when you give up multiple runs in the top of an inning, it's really tough to come back when you have that automatic runner. But good ball game, and hopefully go get the rubber match this evening.
It was Peguero, right, in the 12th? How did he look? Was it him or just circumstances?
Yeah, I think he looked okay. I mean, the leadoff walk is not a killer because it sets up a double play ball, but immediately a wild pitch. That really puts you behind the 8 ball, and kind of a bleeder in the left field, and then the sacrifice fly later. It's a 3-run inning, but the wild pitch was the key. He looked okay. His stuff looked good, but it's kind of the same old story with Elvis Peguero, where the command was just not awesome for him. The stuff is there. He's elite, but he's got to get some better command.
So, Jeff, we're a little ways now into this new extra innings rule where we have the runner on second base. And as someone who gets to see things from more perspectives than most of us, what are you gauging from this? Are the players feeling this? Does it feel like, I don't know, maybe a shrug of the shoulders kind of situation? Is this going to stick going forward?
I think so, and I mean, I'll look at it from both sides. I love it, first and foremost, because it puts immediate pressure on both teams. I think I love the rule. I think the fans love the rule, and I really do think the players like it too. Because if you don't have this rule, you're into the territory where you're going 15, 16, 17, sometimes 18 innings, right? If teams don't score with nobody on base to start an inning, and not only does it take away from, okay, we're playing a long game, but it also costs people jobs. Because think about those bullpen guys that come in, they're going multiple innings, and if they have options, they're going back down to AAA the next day. So I think it's a good thing for organizations. I think it's good for the fans. It looks a little hokey, but I do really like seeing that runner at second base in extra innings.
Hey, I did catch your interesting story during the broadcast on Joey Ortiz. That I run into those guys too. When we park, and certainly when the players and staff park at American Family Field, there's a checkpoint, and a couple of guys are always there manning that when you check in. And I try to chat them up a little bit, Levo. I know you do as well. They're good guys, and apparently their TV broke, and Joey Ortiz bought him a TV.
Yeah, it was great. Jim and Garrett, they've been out there as long as I've been here for 10 years, and they're just so nice and always so happy. And they're out there rain or shine too. So to have those guys have the ability to watch a game and not just hear the crowd reacting and not knowing what's happening, they like to watch the ball game just like everybody else. So their TV broke, and it was in about 1,500 pieces. But Joey Ortiz showed up instead of a cup of coffee the other day, showed up with a brand new TV. It's all weather, and those guys are going to be able to watch the game whenever they want. It was a great gesture from Joey.
That's cool, because I got to say, of our guys, I don't know him well or know, but that tells you a lot about a guy too. And moreover, that there weren't cameras there, there wasn't coverage there, this is just a story that you heard and you knew, but he didn't do it for a photo op. He did it because he cared about a couple of guys. Yeah,
hat tip to our stage manager, Renee Hoffman, for tipping me off on it. But, man, it's really cool. It goes to show what a good dude he is.
And what a good clubhouse we have. Just a lot of good guys. I'm feeling the spirit right now, Levo.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for the final month of the season.
All right, Brewers and Cardinals, 6:40 first pitch tonight. Thanks, man.
You got it. Take it easy, guys.
Mark Tauscher joins us next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My house looks gorgeous. It's the envy of the neighborhood. You know why? I had CertaPro painters come out and paint the outside of my house. Man, did they kill it. Knocked it out of the ballpark. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here. They do outside, exterior, big time. They also paint inside. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're the real deal. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica. What's happening in traffic?
Well, we got some delays out there for sure. Westbound 94, you're seeing backups coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way to about Hawley Road. Back on the brakes crossing the county line. The eastbound side, heavy from Elmhurst Road all the way through the Highway 16 construction zone area. Back on the brakes through the Barker Road area, and then again from the zoo all the way to 35th. And we've also got backups northbound on the Rock Freeway, basically from Layton all the way through to the Hale interchange and on to 894 eastbound. That doesn't really let up till you get past 68th Street. On northbound 4394, slowing down out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve all the way up towards Beecher. I'm Debbie Lazico with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Mostly sunny, high 78 today. Low temperatures down to the mid-50s, maybe a little bit warmer if you're near Lake Michigan overnight. And a sunny start to Thursday with clouds increasing in the afternoon. By afternoon and evening could see some showers and storms and a high of 85. Right now, 59 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
One thing you definitely want to not have happen is somebody crush a speech right before you go. And
Innovator.
Aaron Campbell, before he got off the stage, and I have not seen this, I've been to a bunch of these now, and he brought his wife up, got her a separate ring, and just made her like the queen of the ball.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
All of us after his speech was done was like, play screwed.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Did you find Debbie's traffic update helpful, Tausch?
No, I wish I would have had that earlier as I'm heading to the Pella Experience Center. I know you've been out there, and a lot of traffic before Blue Mound Road is what I found. So normally I kind of will listen to Debbie's traffic report before we do this, and it doesn't really affect me. Well, this morning it's affecting me.
Your show originates live for the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center in Brookfield today?
Yeah, we'll be out there along with KBN. We'll also be out there. We're kind of making it an ESPN Wisconsin day out at the Gina Della Kingdom out in Brookfield.
It's every bit that, no doubt. All right, so Packers are wheels up. They left Austin Straubel Airport this morning about 7:15. Fans were encouraged to attend the send-off. And I had a guy up in Green Bay. He was live with us here on Wisconsin's Morning News. He said, yes, about 20 people showed up. I don't know. I was expecting more.
Well, it's early in the season. We want to make sure we see. Plus, that's an early rise. And I don't know if that was well publicized. But, yeah, I think that's the challenge these guys have is, this is a long flight and trying to make sure that it's just about figuring out how we can go down there and get a win. I don't think that they were probably looking for like Super Bowl type crowds to be sending them off, but it is always nice. It was always nice in those playoff games when you'd come back and everybody was just ramped up, and that always kind of just felt like everybody was all in on this thing. So I'm sure they were hoping for maybe a few more than 20 people to show up.
11 hours is the flight time to Sao Paulo. What is happening on that plane today?
Well, I would think you'll try to sleep a little bit, and then, Barry Alvarez always tells an interesting story about when they went over to Japan to play in that game if Wisconsin would win, they would go to the Rose Bowl. And I don't know how much of this story is true, but he had a sleep specialist come on, and he felt like they beat Michigan State on the flight because they kept their guys up. Michigan State slept. They practiced once they got off the plane to get acclimated a little bit more, and that was the difference. So I don't know the time difference is only 2 hours down in Brazil, so right. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but the big thing is, making sure that you're getting up and moving around. Not everybody's just sitting around. I doubt it will be the card playing, all the shenanigans that are, part of what makes being on a team and traveling so much fun. I don't think you can do that for 11 hours, but I guess I've been in some sheephead games and some Boo-Ray games that I never wanted to end. So maybe there'll be some guys that'll just play cards, and next thing you know, they're going to land. Well, where are we at? Oh, we're here, which is always a great deal.
If you got a guy who's trying to sleep, is there like some sort of unwritten rule that you pretty much leave him alone because he's doing his thing? Or is there that guy or several on the team who's like, dude, get up, we're playing cards. Dude, what are you sleeping? Dude, come on.
Yeah, it all depends who it is. If it's, if it was Favre, we probably left him alone. If it was Cliffy, we were probably putting something in his nose and, doing whatever we could to completely razz him. That all depends on the relationship that you have with that person. But usually before games, you don't mess with people too much. It's after games, especially if we win. That's when you usually get after some folks.
Good stuff, Tausch. We'll talk again tomorrow.
You bet.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Developers project a spring 2025 start for construction of 523 new apartments in Wauwatosa. The project, known as the Foundry at Mayfair Collection, is planned for 11220 West Burleigh Street. Wingstop plans to open a new location in December in Wauwatosa at 6933 West North Avenue. It will be one of 12 Milwaukee area locations owned by ARS Brands. The nonprofit organization that supports the Mitchell Park Dome's Horticulture Conservatory proposes a $133.4 million project to revitalize the site. Friends of the Domes presented the proposal to Milwaukee County's Committee on Parks and Culture. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Milwaukee PBS Fest, with great concerts and specials this week, including Joe Bonamassa and Orchestra on All Creatures Great and Small Special, and Revival 69, the concert that rocked the world. Tonight at 8:30 on Channel 10, uncovering the mysteries of our largest planet, Nova, the planet's Jupiter. Milwaukee PBS Fest. Concerts and specials just for you, now playing on Channels 10 and 36, Milwaukee PBS.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's your knee that's bugging you, right? Or is it your back? For some of us, it's the hips. Achy joints with pain you can't get over. Well, there is a way to fix it. There is a way to get lasting pain relief using your own body's healing properties. It's all thanks to QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics can help enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing all the fun things you like to do without pain. No surgery, no painkillers, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using cellular therapies. If you want to learn more, the consultations are free. You can set up an appointment at QC Kinetics. They have clinics in Mequon and in Greenfield. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call now and get lasting joint pain relief with the help from QC Kinetics. 414-285-3474.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com. Time for another showdown against the Brewers' old rivals, the Cardinals.
Jackson Churio just hit one with the bases loaded.
Our coverage continues tonight at 6:05. This series is sponsored by MATC, home of the Stormers. We are your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:01. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, September 4th. Our top story, still without school resource officers at MPS.
I'm Adam Roberts. Allegations of conspiracy against a former U.S. government aide.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94, still a bit backed up from just before Meadowbrook Road all the way to Highway 16. Back on the brakes through the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th. Westbound is heavy from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then we've got southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm Team forecast for today, mostly sunny skies and a high of 78 degrees. Nice sleeping weather with a low down to 61 by the lake, 54 degrees your low temp inland under mostly clear skies. Right now at 59 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, school underway for most of Southeast Wisconsin school districts, including MPS, faculty, staff, students, all back together now after the summer apart.
Missing from that list are student resource officers.
It's law, and they're just not following the law.
State Senator John Jagler referencing the state legislature's agreement with Milwaukee to have 25 officers in place by January of 2024.
It probably wouldn't have got signed as a standalone bill, but it was negotiated, signed by the governor and put in place, and we fully expected them to comply with the law, but here we are and they haven't.
MPS says it's researching best practices as it pertains to implementing SROs, and they could be in place later this fall. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Chief of Police Jeff Norman says the department is ready when called upon.
Meanwhile, Milwaukee Public Schools has a new chief financial officer. Aicha Sawa officially starting the job on Tuesday in the district. She is a parent of a first grader at Milwaukee Public Schools, as well as holding former positions, including the City of Milwaukee comptroller job. The hiring comes after former CFO Martha Kreitzman resigned in June amid revelations that MPS failed to submit key financial reports that directly impacted receiving state funding.
A legal blow to former President Trump's efforts to delay sentencing in the hush money trial.
A federal judge has denied former President Donald Trump's second attempt to remove his New York hush money case to federal court. Trump made the unusual request of asking the federal court to intervene and delay his sentencing after he was convicted on all 34 counts of falsifying business records. District Judge Alvin Hellerstein quickly rejected the argument, writing that Trump failed to show how making hush money payments to an adult film star are official acts of the presidency. Trump's sentencing is currently scheduled for September 18th. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
Former aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, Linda Sun, has been arrested and charged with counts including fraud and conspiracy. ABC News senior investigative correspondent Eric Hintersky.
There are allegations in the indictment that say Linda Sun tried to delete references to Taiwan or to maybe change the way China was portrayed in official statements, and even small details like word changes, like references to Taiwan or the portrayal of China in official statements or documents. Seemingly small, innocuous things, but federal prosecutors say they warranted those criminal charges and were significant enough to the Chinese that they were willing to pay millions of dollars in kickbacks.
Sun's husband and co-defendant Chris Hu also charged with multiple counts, including money laundering conspiracy.
The U.S. Justice Department has now officially announced criminal charges against those responsible for the October 7th attack against Israel.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says the charges against Hamas leader Sinwar and other militants include conspiring to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization, resulting in death.
They perpetrated the deadliest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust.
And Garland said these charges will not be the last.
We will pursue the terrorists responsible for murdering Americans and those who illegally provide them with material support for the rest of their lives.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, charges in a botched robbery that left an NFL player shot in the chest.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. As the largest lighting supplier to new home builders and decorators in Wisconsin, our huge showroom displays all the finest brands of lighting and ceiling fans, including such top brands as Visual Comfort, Tech, and many more. And our expert staff will assist you in making the right selections. Our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
The Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford and Oshkosh just lowered their dine-in Wednesday and Friday fish fry price to $4.99. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Sunday through Thursday. Call and reserve mindchefrestaurant.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
Platteville police asking for help identifying human remains. They got a call Monday night that remains had been found in a heavily wooded area. Officers say they located a still unidentified person and secured that area. Investigation ongoing.
A Chicago man has been charged after 4 people were shot and killed on a public transit train early Monday. ABC's Eric Horng.
30-year-old Ronnie Davis of Chicago is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder in the grisly, seemingly random shooting deaths that have left investigators without a motive. Police say Davis used a Glock 43 9mm handgun to shoot and kill 3 men and 1 woman who were asleep on 2 train cars. The victims discovered just before dawn after their CTA Blue Line train stopped at the Forest Park station. Some 90 minutes after the shootings, Davis was arrested with the alleged murder weapon on the platform of the Pink Line California station with the help of CTA cameras.
Attorneys have said there's a possibility authorities may not discover what led up to the attack.
The teenager accused of shooting a San Francisco 49ers player during a botched robbery last weekend has now been charged.
Juvenile charges of attempted murder and other counts are now filed against a 17-year-old alleged shooter of 49ers rookie wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins says for now they cannot try him as an adult. That would take a court approving adult charges.
Only if we proceed and are granted the opportunity to move this case to adult court would he be facing adult custody time.
If he's convicted as a juvenile, he could not remain in custody beyond the age of 25. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 8:09.
Coming up, whose desk is that? No one's.
Baird has invested in the vitality of downtown Milwaukee for over a century. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. Baird is a world-class financial services firm. As one of downtown's largest employers, we believe in supporting the communities we serve. We're proud to call downtown our home, and even prouder to elevate our city's world-class amenities with a new convention center. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
What would you say if I told you there's a way to extend your living space super easily and you won't need any demolition? Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You heard me. No demo, and you get more living space. With a beautiful retractable awning installed on your home, you can extend where you hang out with just a push of a button. Comfort Awnings can do it. They're your awnings and screening experts. They're a local family-owned company, and they pride themselves on customer service. One of their guys, like Ben, comes over, checks out your space, and he helps you choose colors, fabrics, shows you all about the models that they have, and helps you put in an order. In a few weeks, when the unit comes in, the guys set up an installation, and before you know it, you're relaxing under your brand new retractable awning. They've got a great deal going on, too. Right now, until the end of September, you can get $250 off any awning or screen. Do what I did. Call 414-AWNINGS to get a free estimate, or check out comfortawnings.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, Jim Bob Morse here. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% blue Weber agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown has ever tasted. Get yours today at La Pina on 3rd Street or your favorite local store. Remember, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee tequila. And for events, recipes, and places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
Annex Wealth Management, investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Morning Drive update, Debbie Lazaga.
All right, eastbound on 94, still backed up through the construction zone from west of Meadowbrook Road to Highway 16. Back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street. The westbound side, you are seeing delays from about 16th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and then back on the brakes just west of Highway 100 all the way to about Elm Grove Road. We've got southbound 41 in pockets of heavy traffic right just south of Appleton Avenue heading towards Hampton. And then we've got westbound 894, of course, backed up out of the Mitchell interchange pretty much all the way to 68th through that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We're on our way to a high of 78 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Skies remain clear overnight with low temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Might be low 60s if you're right along Lake Michigan. And then for Thursday, a high of 85 degrees. Our only chance really in the next several for significant rain. Clouds and afternoon showers and storms are possible on Thursday with a high of 85. Right now, 58 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
.13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Lot to get to in this hour. Got Adam Roberts in for Eric Bilstead one more day today. Eric's doing the afternoon show, so we hear Eric after 3 o'clock today.
So you will still get your Eric fix.
Eric? Actually, I'm sorry Eric missed this one because the art car is back in the news today. One Milwaukee alderman finally having the courage to say out loud what the rest of us have been thinking and saying all along is it's a tremendous waste of money that actually won't touch the problem. It's Alderman Lamont Westmoreland out with an extraordinary statement basically saying, yeah, this is a joke. And we spent $88,000 on the art car and we shouldn't have.
And I've spent some time in City Hall with this latest batch of Milwaukee aldermen and women, and I know he's the only one that's spoken publicly against it with the statement that he put out. I have a funny feeling, though, he's not the only one of those aldermen and women's that have thoughts on it.
Don't know that we're going to get to it once again this hour, so you can text CAR to 855-616-1620. We can send you the pics. Also, everything with Dr. Ken Harris, who sounded off again on this as well in the podcast of Wisconsin's Morning News. That's available anytime online, or you can text Vince to 855-616-1620. We'll send you the link. But don't do that right now. We got a lot of other good, interesting stuff here till 9 o'clock. Want to get to this story, and it applies to our office, but maybe telling about how things work where you work. Going to spill some office tea here this morning. Going to give you a window into a controversy here at Good Karma Brands. Actually, probably controversial for me and maybe a couple other people.
I was going to say that the definition of controversial implies that multiple parties are outraged.
High controversy, multiple parties, yes. Not just because it's a pet peeve of mine, but it is something that I'm warring with some of our teammates about because this is going to be an issue, if not now in your workplace, maybe in the near future if you work in an office environment. The practice that we're talking about this morning is called hoteling.
It's meant to be a shareable space that is neutral. Anyone can sit down and use it in that point in time, and it's there for the taking whenever anybody needs it.
So that's Mike Grubich. You've heard him here on the air before, president at LAK Group, which is a local business consulting firm. And I consult with Grubich from time to time on things that are happening in the workplace. And he's saying that hoteling is increasing in popularity. So in our office, many of us do not have assigned desks. So when we're done on the air here, for example, if I've got work with our marketing team or others outside the studio, outside the newsroom, we go up into our office space, which is upstairs from our studios. And there are open, or we call them flex desks. They're assigned to no one. This is no one's desk, right? And you're supposed to just kind of flop down there for the time being. You break open your laptop, you do your work, and then you pack up like a hotel, hence the term.
And we've seen this a lot in offices as many have kind of done that juggling act of remote work. And historically, and I say historically within the last few years, it's worked well at offices that are still a pretty healthy mix of people working remote, so there aren't as many people physically in the building.
Yeah, right. And then that way you don't have to have more desks, more infrastructure, all of that.
Exactly.
There are a number of reasons also offices do it. I'll get into some of that here as we go. But basically, you don't live in this space. You don't put pictures of your family up. You don't have bobbleheads or whatever. You pack up your stuff, and then the next day you're at another desk.
Rules of engagement is that I like to use that phrase a lot. Only reserve what you need, right? You reserve what you need. The second is don't be a disruption, right? If you're someone who tends to talk or someone who is having lots of conversations, that might be better done at your remote place versus in the office. So try to plan so that you're not that noisy neighbor. And then just respect the activity of others. Part of that respect the activity of others is if you use a space, clean it, let it be something that someone else can go into next and they feel comfortable. You're accountable for creating an environment where it's inclusive of everybody, not just you.
Mike Grubich again from LAK Group. Remember that last part. Advantages, Grubich says, some concrete, some more intangible of the latter variety. Team building, get folks from different departments maybe who sit next to each other. Maybe a little variety. That's not bad, right? Mm-hmm. Some are practical reasons. More PC units, just get everybody a laptop instead, right? You save space, especially for hybrid workplaces. You don't need to lease as much square footage then. You know, if a third of your workforce works from home at any given time, to your point earlier, Adam, now you only need a few desks that can be shared, et cetera. Okay, fine.
Seems very reasonable, I would say.
Why were you laughing at me back there when they mentioned noisy neighbors? Greg Pancake Hill produces the program.
I wasn't laughing.
Almost fell out of his chair when noisy neighbors were mentioned.
No, because, well, you've called yourself out for being whistling guy, and you're the same guy to whistle a tune and then also say, why am I whistling?
Yes, I annoy even myself.
So there it is.
So I can be a noisy neighbor.
Little drummer guy, too. I like that.
So here's the problem. Okay, all of that is well and good, and there are practical reasons and intangible reasons for doing this. Here's the problem. We have squatters.
Uh-oh.
Various squatters have now, without regard for the earlier stated rules, put all their crap up there. Not just one, multiple of our friends, our colleagues, our teammates, as we call them here, just claimed spots. So now what's happened is, am I just the sucker? Because I'm walking around here looking for a desk with all my stuff in my backpack, which I get made fun of for. Eric made fun of me the other day. He's like, what's all in your backpack? I'm like, my desk.
For reference, his backpack your backpack is very full. You're like one of those kids the first day of school that's just hauling the backpack. It's like trailing down behind your butt.
But it's got all my stuff in it because I don't have a spot. I don't have a home. One of our friends here has a cactus at her desk. I mean, a cactus, man. This is not a frame or a little pencil jar. She's got plants. So she has claimed that desk.
I know if we're spilling tea, we get orchids frequently here to Good Karma Brands, and it's a madhouse dash to get those orchids. I have seen people take the orchids and put them onto a spot, and then it's just, all right.
Claimed.
I'm marking my territory, planting my orchid into this desk.
So that's my problem. I mean, I would prefer to have a space, right? I would rather it that way. I think when we moved here, I did have a desk, and then they said we're going to do this. So now you don't have a desk, just find a spot. It's all well and good, right? I don't know the company. I don't run it. I'm happy to do whatever we need to do to have a cohesive workplace. So that's fine. It's just when everybody doesn't follow the rules, then, what am I doing then?
Well, to the point of management, wouldn't you just want to raise this point to someone who can make a change? If it bothers you that much, as you have claimed it does.
I don't think anybody really cares that much except
Are
for
you
me.
Sure? Because you seem to care a lot about this.
I'm one guy.
You are that person.
Well, the only issue I have is with when I want to go upstairs and I need to talk to somebody, I don't know where they're sitting.
Yeah, right.
I have to walk around and maybe yell out their name.
Hey, is she here? I don't know.
Hello?
She might be here. She might be there, right? All right. Well, so I always ask Grubich for solutions. Okay, Mike Grubich, president of LAK Group in Brookfield, he suggests a reservation system for flex spaces in your office.
Whether it's through your Teams or Slack or something like that they can see we have 8 spaces, and today Vince is going to be there, and Mike's going to be there, and Tammy's going to be there in this space. Something that's virtual that people can get visibility to it, because that will help them with planning their day. And it also, the other thing that it does is I think it helps get in front of the challenge that you have about people turning a hotel space into their space.
Right. So like a hotel, right, you have to reserve the space. Mm-hmm. And that works with varying degrees of success. We have that for some of our shared spaces here. If you want to reserve a conference room, right?
Right.
And then you go up, it's 10 o'clock, and you look in there, and there are people in there, and they're like, oh, do you have this room? Yeah, okay, fine.
Now, that only works as long as you actually make the reservation. Otherwise, you'll have the situation where you're going to check into your hotel, and the previous guest has not left yet, but they were never supposed to be there because they didn't book the room.
So that's my issue, because right now we don't have hoteling. We've got squatting. We have vacant houses that people just moved into and just made their own. Of little consequence, in the grand scheme of things. But if this is going on at your office, interested to know your thoughts on that. 8:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News. All right, Debbie, from your space that nobody sits at the desk that you sit in the newsroom.
Unless they're filling in for me.
Because you've got all your traffic stuff in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's by design.
Yeah, kind of by design.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, eastbound 94 slowing down from Meadowbrook Road through the Highway 16 area. That's a construction zone. Then we've also got more backups from the Zoo interchange all the way through to 35th Street. Westbound is a bit heavy from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, backups from before Hampton down to Capitol. Northbound 4394, that's backed up from the Mitchell interchange all the way up and around the Plainfield curve. Pretty much all the way up to Mitchell Street at this point. Those delays are starting to grow a little bit through that area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wisconsin volleyball has a new home.
It's match point in Madison.
Catch all the excitement of the 2024 season.
Booth and Spreck putting up that Wisconsin wall.
And don't miss out on moments like this.
Booth dunks it down with two hands, and that's a point for Wisconsin. Set Spreck, kill Franklin.
Badgers volleyball on WTMJ is presented by Steinhoffels. Don't miss any of the action right here on Wisconsin's radio station, 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Apparently a big to-do out at the Experience Showroom in Brookfield, right there on Blue Mound Road. Tausch was with us earlier here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Says he's doing his whole show out there. Wilde and Tausch live from the Pella Windows and Doors, now I guess mobile studio.
If you needed any more reason to go check out Pella products, that's a big one.
Kyle Bruston Norton will be there live this afternoon on ESPN Milwaukee. And here's a great new deal from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin for this month. Pella makes your project more affordable by breaking it down into monthly payments and providing financing for you if you want to do that through them. So right now the deal is as low as $18 per window, $81 per patio door per month. So you spread those payments out over a course of years, and that's how affordable it can be. Because I don't know if you want to do boutique stuff, one window here, one thing there. Do the whole project all at once, and Pella will make it easy for you. $18 a window, $81 per patio door per month. This deal lasts until the end of September. So it expires September 30th. You don't have to have the work done by then, but you do have to get the Pella design team in your home and commit to that work before the end of the month. You get started by visiting the showroom in Brookfield or visiting PellaWI.com today.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better, and that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where Wisconsin's best 2024 closeout sale is on. It's where to score deep closeout savings on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Get more for your trade and discover car buying that makes fans of drivers. As a longtime fan myself, I'm confident you'll enjoy Team Holiday's genuine guest care and simple, pressure-free buying approach. Find yours and drive it home today from Holiday, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in Fond du Lac and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Reclaim your outdoor space.
826 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Story that a lot of folks have been interested in part because we just don't have all the information yet, all the details, also because it's simply tragic. We are still waiting right now on formal charges for the young man who's accused of shooting and killing a University of Wisconsin Whitewater student just days before classes were set to begin at that Walworth County campus.
Definitely some grief happening. I mean, very sad time. I mean, it's just really heartbreaking to see that happen and hear about it.
It's a student there on campus talking with TMJ4 News about starting day one, first day of classes at Whitewater on Tuesday, with this cloud that is hanging over that campus and that community. Kara Welsh is a national champion gymnast for the Warhawks and a senior business student. She was killed at an off-campus apartment on Friday night. The new information that we have is police arrested a 23-year-old by the name of Chad Richards, whom they said knew Welsh, although the nature of the relationship between the two has not yet been clarified. Police say Richards shot Welsh following an altercation. Typically, we don't name people who are accused of crimes until those formal charges have been filed. In this particular case, it's police putting the name out there, and in addition, Richards has already made a court appearance. So his name, his video, if you've seen him on the news, it's out there. And this whole we don't name people until they're charged is not a legal hurdle. It's a journalistic one.
Right. We saw that with Eric Mendoza in the Prince McCree trial. Traditionally, someone who's under 18, you would not name as well. It's something you historically see. But again, he had made it his appearance. It was publicly information that was available at that point.
So here's what else we know at this point. Richards was in court Tuesday. A judge, again with charges still pending, agreed to continue holding Richards on $1 million bond. Police have recommended several charges. So this is what happens is police investigate the crimes. They give their reports to the district attorney's office. The DA's office ultimately has that charging decision, but police usually recommend, this is what we see here in our investigation. These are the charges we recommend. DA can do whatever he or she wants, but in this case, first-degree intentional homicide is among the recommended charges. In something that I can't say I've seen before personally, definitely rare at a first hearing, Kara Welsh's family spoke. Her sister addressed the court.
I've heard many people talk about Kara's sports accolades, which do deserve to be celebrated, but she had so much more to give to the world aside from gymnastics. There was nothing that Kara couldn't do.
Maybe it's hard to hear there because she was fighting back tears, but she said there's nothing Kara couldn't do. The family is from Plainfield, Illinois. Kara was just 21 years old, and she was going to be a senior this year. So once those charges are filed, which could come at any time, you have a criminal complaint in which we expect to have much greater detail about how and maybe why this happened. Of little consequence to the Welsh family this morning. They've lost a sister, a daughter, but there obviously is a lot more detail that we are expecting to learn in the coming days.
And if anyone is wondering about as far as any sort of bond in this case, will this guy be posting bail at all? It's $1 million is the posted bond in this case, so likely not going anywhere.
Judge cited flight risk as one of the reasons for the high bond, also the seriousness of the charges. Chad Richards is due back in court at the end of the week. 8:29 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Whoa, man, does my house look fantastic because CertaPro painters did the outside of it. Top tier. Best craftsmanship, best choices. It's CertaPro with a C. It's that easy. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. CertaPro with a C. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned, operated right here. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters. We did. They do the outside. They do the inside. They always do it right. It's CertaPro with a C.
Save now during the Labor Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. Special factory incentives make this the perfect time to save 35% on a new sofa, chair, or sectional crafted by Norwalk Furniture. American made with your choice of fabric or leather in a style and size to fit your need. Available in as little as 35 days. Can't wait? All our inventory is sale priced and ready for immediate delivery. Shop today and save during the Labor Day sale at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. There's no doubt that a better night's sleep makes for better days, and a good quality mattress helps make it happen. When you buy your new Milwaukee mattress from Ken Michaels Furniture, you are assured of a mattress made for your needs out of the finest natural materials direct from our Milwaukee factory. We make every style, size, and firmness of mattress, and with our factory direct prices, you will save up to 50% compared to other brands. Milwaukee mattresses from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Milwaukee PBS Fest, with great concerts and specials this week, including Joe Bonamassa and Orchestra on All Creatures Great and Small Special, and Revival 69, the concert that rocked the world. Tonight at 8:30 on Channel 10, uncovering the mysteries of our largest planet, Nova, the planet's Jupiter. Milwaukee PBS Fest. Concerts and specials just for you, now playing on channels 10 and 36, Milwaukee PBS.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
At 8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News for September 4th, our top story, an overnight fire put 7 people out of their home in Milwaukee.
I'm Adam Roberts. The Justice Department going after Hamas.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound on 94, slowing down from before Meadowbrook Road all the way to Highway 16, back on the brakes from the zoo, all the way to 35th Street. We've got some delays along westbound 894 from the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street. Westbound 94 also heavy from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today and a high of 78 degrees. Clear skies overnight with a low down to 61 at the lake, 54 inland. Right now, Milwaukee at 58 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 7 people put out of their home after a home nearby burned down overnight in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. A lot of flames from this about 11:30 Monday night near Bremen and Carter. Destroyed a vacant house, and that caused damage to 2 neighboring properties. Milwaukee fire officials also report 1 firefighter received non-life-threatening injuries while working to put out the blaze. Cause of the fire still under investigation.
A 4-year-old is dead after a weekend ATV accident in northern Wisconsin. Oneida County officials say it happened Saturday evening in the town of Pelican, which is southeast of Rhinelander. 3 passengers under the age of 10 rolled off the ATV into the road, and a 4-year-old was trapped under the vehicle, and though witnesses attempted to help, the child did die at the scene. An investigation into that crash is still ongoing.
So a number of reporters still recovering after that crash involving the motorcade that was taking them to Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz's campaign event on Labor Day here in Milwaukee. CBS 58 reporter Emily Fannin was hurt in the crash, told WTMJ that police were there almost instantly, thanks in part to a bit of technology.
Specifically with iPhones, it will know when you're involved in a crash. So EMS police were on site, I would say, within a matter of minutes. Thankfully, we're able to administer some aid.
Governor Walz was not hurt in that crash, proceeded to deliver that speech at the annual Labor Fest.
The U.S. Justice Department is going after a Hamas terrorist who masterminded the large surprise October 7th attack in Israel.
The Department of Justice unsealing criminal charges filed against the head of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, and 5 others for the October 7th attack on Israel that killed nearly 1,200 and left 250 kidnapped. 40 Americans among the dead, and a dozen Americans taken hostage. Sinwar and his cohorts facing charges of executions, mass murders, sexual crimes, and abductions. Israel has vowed to kill Sinwar, but he's eluded the Israeli army in the vast tunnel network under Gaza. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Pope Francis on the first full day of a 12-day trip with a message on how different religions can peacefully coexist.
With his message here in Indonesia centering on how different religions can live in harmony, this morning Pope Francis praised the magnificent mosaic that makes up Indonesian society and said the Catholic Church desires to increase interfaith dialogue so as to tackle religious extremism. The Pope didn't mention any specific countries but spoke of violent conflicts linked to religious intolerance and the desire to let one's own partial historical narrative prevail at all costs, even when this leads to endless suffering for entire communities and results in wars and much bloodshed. Inez de la Cuetera, ABC News, Jakarta, Indonesia.
Time for news about your money now, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It was not a great Tuesday for the majors, down in some cases over 600 points on the day. As the bell has rung now on Wednesday, right now the Dow is up slightly to begin the day, up 79 to 41,016. Meanwhile, the losses continuing for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. NASDAQ down 96 points this morning to 17,040, while the S&P 500 is off 7 points at 5,521. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:36.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, Ditch what you don't.
Coming up, reimagineering a popular Milwaukee destination, but what's different this time around? That story next.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? Pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here's a penny for your thoughts. There's about 11,000 tire-related crashes every year.
Mostly due to driving around on underinflated, beat-up, worn-out tires with low tread.
A couple of clicks at richlawns.com will get you scheduled for a free tire tread test.
But if you're pressed for time, there's an old trick we use in the tire industry that'll tell you if you need tires.
And that's free too.
My dad showed me, who learned it from his dad, who learned it from someone else way back in 1964.
Ah, yes, the old penny test.
Yep, just place a penny head first.
As in upside down.
Into the groove of your tire. Now, if you can see the top of Lincoln's head, you're due for tires.
And hey, if the free penny test frazzles you, book an appointment at richlawns.com.
If your tires are good,
no harm, no foul, because it won't cost you a penny. Be safe, buckle up, and hang. Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're
due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
.39 Wisconsin's Morning News on a Wednesday morning. Adam Roberts is in for Eric today. Eric's doing the afternoon show, so he'll be on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
Fear not.
What were you? Was that a thing on the domes you were listening on yesterday?
Yes, it was
a committee hearing.
In part, though, the Milwaukee County Parks and Culture Committee,
okay, right.
one of our many illustrious committees on one of our city or county board bodies, was talking about a litany of different topics, including, as you mentioned, Vince, the domes.
Okay, did we fix it yet?
No, they are still before our very eyes in the
meetings.
same position they've been in for the last few years, which is crumbling. We, of course, had a piece fall off about 8 years ago, and since then, the question has been, what are we going to do, when, and how? And we once again have a new proposal put forth on what to do with these domes. Now, you may recall last year, the county basically said, look, we need to quit kicking the can on this. We need finally some solution. If we're going to tear them down, then we're going to tear them down. If we're going to rebuild them, okay, fine, but how much is this going to set us back? And at the time, we got a number of proposals ranging from about $11 million that would be to just tear the whole thing down and start from scratch with a flat piece of land at Mitchell Park, ranging up to the most expensive option, which would be reimagining. We use that term a lot, I think, when it comes to businesses and buildings specifically. Well, that is what the new proposal that was discussed on Tuesday is. It's a reimagining of the domes to the tune of $133.4 million. Now, the leader of this project, Friends of the Domes, they've been involved with this for quite some time. It's Krista Beal-Diefenbach is the executive director, and she laid out during the meeting what makes this proposal different. If I can play the cut for you right here.
It looks to the county for less than 30% of the plan's costs. It removes the challenge permanently from the county's list of obligations, and it is a win in terms of county's goal to become the healthiest county in the state.
So that second point, I think, was the most interesting one. It eliminates the domes as county financial responsibility, which, according to this plan, after a $30 million investment in the first phase of 2 for this, then philanthropic efforts and tax credits would fund the second phase, and it would be off the county coffers, and they wouldn't have to pay for that second phase, which is admittedly the cheaper of the two, which is just to help build a new conservatory and, I believe, a courtyard.
I think that's really interesting in that if you look at long-term sustainability, painful and as difficult as some of these conversations are because we grew up with these iconic attractions, they're just not what they were anymore. People are doing other things with their money. The money is not there in city and county budgets to support this. You're seeing this throughout the arts community. You know, Performing Arts Center is struggling for extra money. It has infrastructure costs. Also in this very meeting, right, they were talking about Villa Terrace, right?
And Charles Dallas,
Yeah, so some of these institutions that were mainstays of our childhood and our parents' childhood, they will continue to struggle when there's not money in these city and county budgets to support them. There's not going to be more money in those budgets. So if you have an out for the county, okay, one time help us save this, then it's no longer your obligation. I think that's interesting.
And it seemed to perk the ears of the supervisors at that meeting, that particular mention there. Now, they did not actually vote on this, which is the next question. Okay, did you actually take action on this?
Okay, you'll be listening in another meeting a year from now, and we'll be doing the same
And you'll
thing,
be asking that same question.
Yes.
What were you doing over there? Well, we're doing a Domes meeting again, Vince.
All right, interesting new proposal. 8:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do you see on the roads here, Deb?
Well, we are definitely still seeing some delays along eastbound 94 from before Meadowbrook to Highway 16, and then from the zoo all the way to about 35th Street. Westbound side's heavy from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got northbound 4394 just coming around the Plainfield curve up to Oklahoma Avenue, going to be a bit heavy. And southbound 43 backing up from just before Hampton Avenue to Capitol Drive. ABRI's on the roads report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Planning for retirement is like planning a road trip. You wouldn't start a long journey without a map, right? The same goes for your financial future. Every retirement plan needs the right tools. Social Security is one of those critical tools. But did you know when and how you claim your benefits can dramatically affect your retirement income? At Drake & Associates, we'll help you navigate the twists and turns of Social Security. Our team can guide you on when to start collecting benefits to maximize your income. Don't leave your retirement journey to chance. Call us or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Let us help you map out a secure and enjoyable retirement.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for my friends at Kohler Services. And if you're not happy with your tired old bath or shower, have you thought about maybe a remodel? Seriously, they say that it's one of the ways to improve your home's value, but beyond that, you get to experience the comfort of a fresh bathroom setup. And with Kohler, you get premium products in the Luxe Stone crushed stone material, installation, and service. The process is super easy. Like for me, Jason came over, he did some measurements, showed me some samples and photos of what they can do for me, and he helped me design a bathroom that will work for my family. And this month only, you can get $1,000 off and 0 interest for 12 months on your Luxe Stone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to get your free quote. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin, locally owned landscape company that's fantastic. I know because they're doing the work in my yard. From their crews to the design consultants to the admin team, they're going to take great care of you when you're taking care of your home or your business. Joe, the guy working at my house, made a good observation. He was out there the other day and said, hey, what about bulbs? They're beautiful in the spring. Think about getting on the schedule for the fall today. You want a beautiful yard next year? You need to put some work into it this year. They are the real deal. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check it out. LandworksWisconsin.com.
You can play along with us. I'm going to give you a date. It's today's date, 1964. So 60 years ago today, this happened in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Crowds of people showed up at the airport. Thousands lined the streets, hoping just for a glimpse. I'm going to play you an interview that aired on WTMJ TV 60 years ago with some young ladies who were really excited about what was about to happen. And from the context, you may guess, if you haven't already, the anniversary we mark today.
When they come in, I suppose that you're going to be letting out one of those loud yells.
Of course.
Why?
Because I like them.
Why the yelling, though?
To show how much we like them.
Couldn't you just applaud or whistle?
No.
No, you gotta yell. You too?
Yeah, gotta yell.
Couldn't you just applaud or whistle?
Let me see. Is it people waiting to see the Packers off to go to an international game?
No. Much larger crowds for this.
Okay.
If you haven't figured it out yet, it's the Beatles. Their one and only concert in Milwaukee. It was at the arena, sold-out event. People were staking out the route. They staked out the airport. They were there at the hotel, location of which had leaked in the media.
1,000 kids outside the Coach House Inn on 19th in Wisconsin. We didn't announce where they were staying. We still don't. I don't know. It's word of mouth. There's, somebody must have known somebody at the Coach House and knew that they were staying there, but they were there, and they tried to get in, and they tried to get souvenirs, cigarette butts, whatever they could get. So it was something that I haven't seen it since, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. That was a time that was it was a lot different than it is today.
Maybe some of you of our senior audience would recognize even still his voice. That is Bob Berry, DJ for WOKY, the hottest rock and roll DJ in town at the time.
Spinning the stacks of wax.
Right. So Eric Bilstead looked him up as we came up on this anniversary. Eric's hosting the afternoon show today, so he'll probably have more on this. But Eric caught up with him. Bob was given the opportunity to MC the Beatles concert, which he said from time to time that's how these concerts went in the early 60s. The hot DJ in town was invited to serve as MC and introduce all the acts.
And you still see that sometimes today. I remember in La Crosse when I used to work for radio, some of my coworkers would take the stage and rile the crowd up before a big show.
So that was Bob's job in this one. What he remembers is when it was time for the Beatles to take the stage, they weren't there yet.
So when it came time for me to introduce the Beatles, they were nowhere in sight. So Jackie DeShannon finished her last song. She was the last warm-up act. And the road manager said, okay, get up there and do something because they're not here yet. And so Eddie introduced me, and I went up. And I had to ad-lib for 15 minutes. And every time I'd mention one of their names or the Beatles, there was tremendous screaming. So thank God for that, because that took a little time. So finally they arrived, and all I said was the Beatles. And I got off stage, and I sat next to the stage, and I couldn't hear what they were singing. I mean, it was that intense. The screaming was just constant. Every once in a while it would die down just a little bit and you could catch what song they were singing.
Yeah. So apparently the screaming thing must have been new with the Beatles. Beatles fans invented it, right? Or something. But everybody kept talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, if you've watched old videos of performers on like a TV show or something in the 50s, there's some audible noise depending on who it is. I'm sure Buddy Holly brought a pretty big crowd too. But yeah, it took it to a whole nother stratosphere with the Beatles all the way until they stopped touring.
I would play you some sound from the show because WTMJ has a lot of this archived, but you really can't hear anything. I was looking through some of the old video. It's like virtually unusable. So funny aside too, Bob shared with Eric, and again, think of this. At the time, rock and roll DJ Bob Berry at WOKY, 1964, was a big deal in Milwaukee. Maybe probably bigger than the Fab Four, as they were just getting started, right?
At least around here.
Right. Your big city DJs, these guys were a big deal. They decided what music made the air. They were the ones who were with the people listening. It was a really important job. And so this guy's a big deal. So the tour called and asked him to MC this show in Milwaukee for the Beatles.
I said, how much does it pay? He said, we're not paying any of our disc jockeys in any of the cities in the United States. And I said, well, I think I'll take a pass.
Beatles, nah. So as Bob's telling it,
I don't work for free.
He took that call with the station's music director in the room at the time, who fortunately talked him into calling the guy back.
Well, you wanted me to MC the Beatles. And she said, what? And you turned them down? She said, look at this. And she opened the publications, all the radio publications, Billboard and Cashbox, and said, look at how huge they are in Europe. And this is going to be phenomenal. You call them back and tell them you'll do it.
So he did, obviously, and quite a scene here in Milwaukee. The Beatles actually did give a news conference prior to the show as well. Got huge coverage. My mom was at that show.
Really?
I've seen the ticket stub. And the legendary story in our family was my grandfather was a very smart man, John Shimmons. But my mom tells the story that he found out that she had bought a ticket to this show to be among the screaming people here to see these long-haired kids from the other side of the pond come in and play their rock and roll. And he said to her, $6 for a concert. You'll regret that for the rest of your life.
Wow.
So back to Barry real quick. Bob Barry, DJ at WOKY, gets an exclusive interview the next day with the Beatles at the Coach House following their performance. And again, Bob, big deal at the time, but he ended up in a picture with the Beatles.
Forever known after that day as Beatle Bob, is that right?
Right. You know, the newspaper tagged me the fifth Beatle, and of course, all of the MCs around the country were called the fifth Beatle because they were on stage with them. I wish I could have been the fourth Beatle. You know, John, Paul, George, and Bob. You know, I know it doesn't have that ring, but that Ringo.
Yeah, that would have been nice, though.
Yeah, great interview with Eric and Beatle Bob Barry of WOKY. 60 years ago today. The Beatles in Milwaukee. 8:53 here. What do you see on the roads, Deb?
Well, we've got eastbound 94 still a bit backed up through the construction zone, Meadowbrook Road to Highway 16, back on the brakes from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium to 35th. Westbound's heavy from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 43 backed up from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And 894 westbound, as usual, west of the Mitchell interchange, going to be slow all the way to 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Vince Vitrano here from Wisconsin's Morning News, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every segment, every interview, and every bit we do on the show. Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
I am jazzed as hell.
It's about 110 degrees in this room. Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever.
Maybe we do some bits.
Bullseye!
The Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee, and the summer deal still in effect. Tell you more about that in a moment. From my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets. Consult, design, prepare, install, love. These are the 5 steps to calming chaos in your home with the project. Step 1, design team listens to you. What space are we talking about? What are your needs? What's your budget? Step 2, using their 3D software to design custom solutions and achieve your goals. Step 3, prepare. I love this about Inspired Closets Milwaukee. They will assist you in the orderly removal of your stuff. Where do we put all the stuff that's in the closet space or the room that you're using? And of course, they come in and remove the current hardware because reducing stress, that shouldn't be stressful. Step 4, expert local installers build your project efficiently and beautifully. And step 5 is love. Enjoy the immediate benefits of your new closet, kitchen space, pantry, or whatever you dreamed up together. Back to step 1 real quick. Inspired Closets Milwaukee will knock 10% off the cost of your project or give you 18 months of free financing when you tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredCloset.Milwaukee.com.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to semperfiroofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast, sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 78 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Clear skies overnight. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, maybe low 60s if you're close to Lake Michigan. And a chance for some rain tomorrow afternoon and evening with a high of 85 degrees. Right now at 69 in Milwaukee. I will note your Green Bay Packers are airborne. Lifted off from Austin Straubel Airport in Green Bay about 7:15 this morning on their way to Sao Paulo, Brazil. 11-hour flight.
And they're welcoming them in Brazil. I just saw there was a mural painted up on a building. Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts on the side of a building in Sao Paulo. Dozens, I'm sure, will gather to root for and cheer for the artists of that mural. You can text WATCH to 855-616-1620 to get a look at Jordan Love going up on a building in Brazil.
Game is Friday night, 7:15 kick. WTMJ's Political Power Hour is up next.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct.